Hello and welcome back to the Mythic Championship Grand Final. As you already see, we have xrayy wins these every day against the Slug. As game before, I'm not alone. I'm joined by heroes at school.
Hello everyone.
And we are already in the first map. No bans so far as xrayy. These every day has the first map choice.
And they decided to go on Battlefield of Eternity.
Yes. And they also have the first pick, as it is them coming from the winners bracket. With everyone in the lobby, so I think we should start the game soon.
So what can we expect from the Grand Final? We did have a 2-0 coming in the winners bracket when these two teams actually faced each other for the first time tonight. And in the second game, you already could tell that it was much closer than the first game. So the Slug really putting up quite a fight there onto the xrayy wins every day. And if you go on in this direction, in these development that we have, we might actually see them win some games here. But in general, I guess it's fair to say that we do have xrayy wins every day as the favorite of the Grand Finals. How do you think about that?
I mean, yes, it was quite some close games, I would say, in the upper bracket final between those two teams, but still, xrayy was able to win both games. The second one, they struggled, but they still made it in the end. And now we are seeing those two again meeting in the finals. Slug, meantime, had one game against VM, the win ratio, which was pretty close. So I'm very interested to how this one will go, as we see both teams in the lobby and hopefully ready to go soon. Also keep in mind DFS is coming up soon. So signups for this are signups for them are open with, let me check, with qualifiers signing up. We're already starting the draft. We do this one first. This is best of 5, keep that in mind. We're seeing more games than before.
And we actually might see a little bit of a shifting due to that fact, because I've seen it from time to time, like in a best of 5 series, the teams are getting more comfortable to try some stuff out, like maybe try to this element of surprise, because if it doesn't work for you, this one does not hurt as much as it did before. And obviously, we see xrayy wins every day, watching the semi-final that we had against you in the win ratio, and we see the ban against Samuro here.
I mean, no surprise on that side, and we also see Navala being the next ban from the Slug. So they decide to also do not want to play against that one, as she is also quite fast in racing. Thanks for the 10 bits, do the job. Nice to have you here again, one of our North American admins. And the next two bans are Alarak, who would have guessed, and Liming as well, as she's also quite nice in racing. And now we see Hanzo, it's the next one to come in.
Yeah, so after 2 bans, which race pretty well, we then end up with the Hanzo. That leaves the Grey main open or Lunara for the race, if you do really decide for it. But the question is, will you really go for the race, or do you just try to set up a perfect team fight combination and try to defend and just get an advantage by killing and winning the team fights? And it looks like more like that, as we do have the ETC pick here, who provided with a lot of crowd control and the last games that we actually saw. And we see the answer immediately with the Rhaegar and the Chromie. So no thinking going on here. Chromie does have pretty good race here on the Immortal. For a mage, it's not too bad. And Rhaegar, just general high meta support in the current last few weeks that we had.
Also, the betting is set up, so !mark bet A if you think xrayy wins these every day will win it, or !mark bet B if you think the Slug are going to take the first map out of xrayy. So far, we see quite a nice race comp from xrayy with xrayy and getting the Hanzo in. As xrayy is just really strong on racing. Getting the second echo in with the 1Q quest deals massive amount of damage. Ben's nothing surprisingly, getting rid of the place, so possible save towards time loop, for example.
Yeah, not only that, we saw amazing engage plays coming in from open in the semi-final with the Blaze, and the jet propulsion was so often on point and securing wins not only once. And there we see the Chen picked from him on the solo lane here. So this round he's obviously not banned, and they're letting him through with the Chen. And on top of that, we do see the Zeratul trying to counter the xrayy to push her and maybe get her get a little bit of pressure on her.
And now with Tyrell and Thrall coming, we see a lot of protection for this backline with Tyrell and Thrall also very strong here. But on the other side, we see Zeratul and Chen coming in. Very strong heroes. Very strong heroes. Especially with Zeratul being able to come in this backline can be crucial in the later stages of the game. But also Chen now open for Kuopen, so he was banned last 2 games. So we will see how this will end up.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I did just see you place a bet on xrayy actually here currently. What makes you think xrayy wins this match?
I'm actually not sure anymore, as we saw the Zeratul pickup from the side of the Slug. Zeratul Chen, it just can be a very big pain towards xrayy and Hanzo, so either I'm about to lose all my points, or
Oh, it's only 4,000 of them.
or I'm making a good win, or I'm making a good win. We will see in the end.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, I mean, this won't happen, but we've seen games with Sylvanas on Battlefield for Eternity which were ended with the first Immortal. This will not happen here. I'm not expecting that. But
if
the Sylvanas push potential and the Zeratul to pressure the backline might be quite dangerous for xrayy wins this every day. They have to be careful.
Taking a short look at stats, we see Chelvin on the xrayy. It's actually his most played hero this season. But first, let's jump in the game as we see on the right hand side the Slug. We see Alopaka on the Zeratul, Helicune on Sylvanas, Freaks on ETC, Out of Order Mafur, and Kuopen playing the Chen.
And on the other side, we do see xrayy wins this every day coming in with Tyrael played by Wit. We have Calvin on the xrayy. Galaxy is playing the Hanzo. We have Ablar on the Thrall, and xrayy himself is playing the Rega.
Looking at builds, we see the Q quest on xrayy level 1. We see the red team on the top lane pushing in, going for this first tower of the game. Team blue.
Classic Sylvanas cheese coming in, getting at least 1 tower. Kind of surprised that we did not see a reaction on xrayy just from the start, with a little bit of suspecting that. But it's only 1 tower that is down, not something to worry too much at this level. By the way, we see the block party taken from the ETC to encounter that Thrall and Hanzo auto attack damage a little bit. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we see an engage from Zeratul on the xrayy, but now he has to be careful himself. We see xrayy with a lot of damage coming in, and Zeratul is able to blink out just in the neck of time as he needed to. Interesting rotation already going on, as we see Sylvanas remaining on the top lane there, as Chen was rotating towards the bot lane, and it looks like we're gonna see the bot lane be in the solo lane for the moment, and we see a kill against xrayy on the top lane from the Sylvanas. Very good start for the Slug here into this first match.
Yes, top lane, the siege camp is now under siege from the team in red. Taking some damage. Bot lane Chen against Thrall. Chen should have the upper hand. The classical 1v1. Talent so far, everything pretty standard, I would say, besides of the block party already mentioned. Also, we see move unseen from Zeratul, so reducing the time it takes to be invisible by 1 second, and also increasing the movement speed during being invincible by 30%.
This just allows him to rotate even faster around the map and maybe find a quick escape, like just the escape that we witnessed in the first few seconds here.
So especially, he's not needed to mount anymore. He's not losing those 2 seconds. Just start moving. We also see possession now coming in on level 4 from Sylvanas. So he's just trying to change the minions of the opponents.
And that actually, so far, it's really paying off for the Slug here. They are looking at a 3/4 level lead, only 2 minutes into the game. That is actually pretty well done. It will be equalized a little bit as the waves were just coming in, and the camp was still missing for xrayy, which is finished right now. But still, it's roughly half a level. That is quite strong. Excuse me, after just 1 kill.
Now we see the immediately on the siege from both teams. The red team currently a bit faster with the initiate burst. Now it's starting to get weaker. Still a bit faster in the first half of this immortal race. So we see from Valfurn on level 4 the strangling vines, so less healing. You go into one of those routes. This will provide them with a good counter heal against.
This is actually
Cestro.
a really close race, but we see the xrayy actually with a slight lead in the race and getting the first immortal here.
I think the first half they just were not able to get this head start or like start immediately. Had a few seconds before they started racing, and this gave the Slug the advantage.
Yeah, but its shield is already gone, so there's barely even been a shield, and on that first immortal it won't hurt too much. We already see him dropping halfway. He might get 1 tower and maybe the wall, but that would be about it.
Is he doing the second tower?
Is on the run, distracting the people there.
He got the second tower as well. Good job, Mr. Mortal.
Well, he did better than I expected then, but that's okay.
It's okay.
It's a good engage coming in here on Tyrael, and he has slowly to be careful and really finding his escape, and he doesn't, so there he goes. And provides with another explosion, but that's about it. And he's dying for another 10 seconds.
Now we see level 7 coming in for team in red. We see Elusive Brawler. We also see the Wolf Skirmisher on Ceratol together with Sonic Strength. So Ceratol going for the one-shot build.
No, it's kind of a reaction towards, but I'm kind of surprised to see that all the auto attack defense focused with the Elusive Brawler and the block party on one on ETC. But first of all, let's stick with the engage on the Valfurion here, but he makes it out with no problems there. Tyrael himself is dropping a little bit low, but he's safe as well. And yeah, that camp is going to help them push and provide with a little bit of pressure on the top lane. Meanwhile, a rotation towards the bot lane is going on. They're gonna try to gank on that thrall, and if they won't succeed with that, they probably will go for the siege camp on the bot lane to have a little bit more map pressure.
Chen on the top lane, now soaking the experience while the rest of the Slug is in the bottom, taking the siege camp while the Immortal is already announced, so we will see a race again coming up soon. Also, Hanzo going for the full W build, regular totem build.
To be honest with you, it's kind of interesting to see that like there's no clear solo laner and 4-man rotation going on for the Slug at the moment. Every time we see a different member of the team staying in the lane. Like once it's Sylvanas, then it's Chen again. Sometimes it's Ceratol who stays there for the wave clear and provide with the experience. And that is actually interesting for me to see.
So far we see the thing which happened in the first Immortal. We see xrayy wins these every day with a bit of a fast Immortal race.
Yeah, and here they go and still go for the aggressive positioning, but we see the Slug reacting to it and trying to put up the first defense. As we do see an engage on the Hanzo, and it's even enough with the flying kick of the Chen coming in, and there he goes with the Elusive Brawler, so he's safe for another day. And we see a finished quest on the Wolf on the other side, but still it's a 4 against 5 situation against the Slug, and they are getting closer and closer to that level 10.
Now we see Sylvanas going for the race in the meantime. She has Barbed Shot, so she deals a bit more damage. There we see Elusive Brawler coming out from Chen. time loop against Zeratul, but we also... Oh, now he's just fine. He is just fine. Hanzo just coming back.
Sure is. ETC is still in a little bit more of a trouble as he's get chased at the same time, we see Chen and Mathurian trying to put up the defense. And now they try to go for the race, but still that race from xrayy is so strong together with that scattered arrow from Hanzo and the bonus damage he provides on never outmatched at level 7. Yeah, so if you look at the damage numbers currently, we already see Chromie taken off very, very strong here, sitting at 15k, and she has not even finished her quest. Once that is done, she will provide with even more damage. So that tells you a lot about the priority on Chromie, and you can see why.
We also see level 10s coming in with the pandas now jumping in the backline. Storm, Earth, Wind, Fire, Twilight Dream, Mosh Pit coming in, Wailing Arrow as well. There's this Dragon's Arrow in a counter, and now looking for a lot of damage. Savannah's taking a lot of damage, but she is able to escape with the Banshees. Meanwhile, Immortal hitting this fort, and the fort goes down. To see the team
Slug not wasting any time, just waiting with the for the Immortal to defend it first. And they even caught again xrayy wins it every day by surprise, as Thrall was already rotating towards the top lane and did not take place on that fight that we just saw. So it was a kind of a 4 against 5 situation. Still lucky that they got the Chromie kill. The Ancestral was a split second of taking off, but then Chromie fell before she could get healed.
We see an engaged top lane on the siege camp. Earthquake coming out, looking for a kill. Do it against ETC, taking some damage, but he is not getting engaged further. Except for the Thrall, and he has to back off then. Chromie missing 1 stack to finish her quest. Hanzo missing 3. And then they will be good to go. They will also see Sanctification, Dragon's Arrow. Oh, there's the Zeratul behind the Rega. There's Ancestral Healing coming out, but there's also Time Loop, and good by Zeratul. Dragon's Arrow coming in. A lot of damage for all of dying in the top due to Chen and Sylvanas. Now we see Malfurion on the run from Rega. Rega being able to finish him off 2 for 1 trade so far. In favor of xrayy wins these every day. We see also Chen still on the run.
Rough for ETC as well, as there's no fort to retreat for him. So he's getting chased and probably killed in the end. And so it is the kill from Hanzo there with the auto attack there. Providing with another 2-0 at the current moment, and 20 seconds until ETD is back.
Both teams.
If you look at the, we do have. Sorry.
Both teams now looking at the Bruiser camps, about to take them as the Immortals are also about to spawn in 5 seconds. So this will push down the lanes while they are on the objectives. Chromie finished already. Now hitting with Freak Fuse the Immortal every time.
Yeah, and that from a safe distance, so she can really just poke it down. And there's not much they can do except for force a fight now. They do have pressure on the bot lane though. They might have to react for this first, and they do so with the Zeratul and Sylvanas rotating bot to clear out the double camp there really fast. And the time is used by xrayy wins this every day to immediately go more aggressive towards that Immortal. Although Thrall is still sticking on the top lane, they do have level 13 coming in for xrayy actually finally as well. And maybe now we see the aggression coming in. We have the double blink coming in from the Tyrael. Nice positioning from the Zeratul. He's there all the way in the back, being ready to. But there's a caller target. We see the stasis on the Chromie, and she's actually caught by the Mosh Pit, but the Mosh Pit is interrupted by the arrow. And there's a kill against Chromie nonetheless with the Twilight Dream from the Malfurion. But now Zeratul has to be careful as he's getting a lot of damage from the enemy team and the Hanzo there. Now Malfurion dropping low himself, but he's healing everyone pretty fairly good at high health. And now they do have a free run at the objective, and they knock down the Immortal as fast as possible.
In the meantime, we will see Chromie respawn until the half time, so Chromie has time to set herself up again for the next half. And we also saw good damage before on the other Immortal, on the Immortal of the Slug, so they could possibly raise, but I don't think they will. Yeah, they're now stacking up here, trying to defend this one. Trying Zero back up in 20, Earthquake in 15, but we see engaged there. Zeratul on the Hanzo. He does take a lot of damage, but so does ETC. Zeratul now. Oh, look at that Chromie. Chromie's again alone.
Sylvanas getting down here. Nice stasis again from the Chromie. Quick reaction here. Calvin getting the kill against Hanzo on the other, against Sylvanas. And the kill against Zeratul at the same time, basically. And there's the Hanzo who pays for it finally due to the Earth, Wind, and Fire. ETC is on the run, and he's getting a lot of damage. No more slide ready for him, and he falls. And it's a 3-for-1 of 4 xrayy wins every day.
So they will be able to go for the race and get this next Immortal on their side, which will be the first one going over towards them.
Yeah, it's gonna spawn on the top lane. And we're gonna see the Slug probably being able to defend this, as every member is gonna be back up once it spawns. And yeah, so far it looks like slight upper hand in the team fights for the side of xrayy wins these every day. We saw a good first team fight coming in from the Slug, but afterwards in the second one, the xrayy wins these every day actually turning it around again and managing to get this 3-against-1 situation.
We also see right now most of the Immortal damage on the side of xrayy. So they are really able to, in the race situations, they just raise the Immortal and get the value out of it. We see them pushing down with this Immortal. Immortal still has a bit of shield, but not much as it is about to go down. Just a few hits and it will be gone. Yeah, here we go. So Sylvanas tries to disable the minions right behind it. Zeratul again looking for a flank in the bottom left.
That Immortal is positioned so well and providing Chromie with so much protection, so she can really provide a lot of damage there. Poke in and poke in and poke in with the sandstorms there.
They're looking for Zeratul now. That's the trail looking for the
reveal. He has the bonus speed from level 1, so he's not caught at the moment and not uncovered.
He also took on level 13 the Mending Strikes, so getting more healing out of his auto attacks. We're getting healing at all out of his auto attacks.
Here we see even an invade, the level 16, apparently enough for an aggressive invade on the enemy siege camp. We have Zeratul there able in the backline. Do we see no. ETC is not trying to go with it. Temporal loop is put upon him. We have the earthquake, so Zeratul is trying to get something done in the backline, but actually Sanctification and the Ancestral Healing are here to save the Chromie, and it does so without any trouble, and they get the kill against Zeratul as he was isolated from the rest of his team.
See them. Oh, Dragon's Arrow coming in for him, able to use the Twilight Dream to keep himself alive. We see also the 2-man mosh, but now we see the time loop coming out. No, wait, sorry, it's in cooldown. Stasis coming out from Chromie and Tyrell going down as they are getting jumped on by the big fat panda. And now Thrall is trying to get some damage on the keep, so does Hanzo. Will they get it? No, I don't think so. No. Keep down to 1000 HP. And the next Immortal is about to spawn in 20 seconds, and then we see Chromie back. Hanzo so far the only member alive for the side of xrayy wins these every day. Now with level 16 coming in, the Slug really has a good chance into taking this Immortal, as we see from the side of Zeratul. We see Master Warp Blade, so he's getting a lot of bonus damage in against this Immortal as soon as he starts auto-attacking it.
What an amazing mosh pit from Freaks there at his own keep, as apparently they tried to go for the Malfurion kill here, and they almost got it, but if not, 3 members were caught in that mosh pit, and then they were able to turn the fight around with the keep, being able to shoot on the targets of the side of xrayy wins every day, and they were able to turn this fight around.
We see Zeratul on the run, but he should be fine, yeah. First half going over towards the Slug as we kind of expected, and now we see xrayy wins these every day going for some race themselves, but in the meantime we also have Zeratul looking at it. Nope, he is looking for the flank again. Now hitting the Tyrell, getting a lot of damage on him. No. All backing off.
Tyrell is such a high mobile hero, and we know Zeratul can jump after him once, but after that Tyrell might have his escape ready as he took the double blink. So yeah,
actually
Zeratul, with the Might of the Nerazim mobile as well, But he has to be really careful not to end too deep, as we saw in the
Oh, power slide against Thrall. Thrall taking a lot of damage.
The root against Earthquake, against the Thrall, who tries to save himself with the Earthquake. Ancestral is for him there as well. And now we see Zeratul trying to get a finish against the Chromie in the backline. But Chromie is now here with the stasis. And actually now we see the Sanctification to back her up even more. But she's still getting focused by Earth, Wind, and Fire. And actually she finally falls. And there we see a 3-man mosh pit. Thrall is there, but there's nothing to interrupt the mosh. And we see another triple kill against Hanzo, Rhaegar, and Tyrael. What a nice play from the ETC. 2 clutch mosh pits in a row, saving the next Immortal, and they might be able to turn this game around with this.
Definitely. Immortal going down, taking Immortal with a bit more than half shield. More shield than all the other Immortals on the side of xrayy wins these every day. Together, I think.
Be interesting to see what plan now xrayy wins this every day is gonna follow. The lanes are pretty much pressured, but they do face a Sylvanas, so it doesn't help you that the towers would only focus the Immortal if they're not focusing anything at all. So we immediately see Thrall to try to get a finish on the top keep, and he might do so very easily. But afterwards, he probably has to retreat here. Yeah.
With the minion wave coming in, the keep is going to fall. In the bottom wave, we also saw his Castle Camp going down the lane, doing a lot of damage towards the keep, but this keep also is in quite some danger as the Immortal is still in ranged form because he still has some shield, and Sylvanas now opening her trade. Going in. No, not yet. Now she's using the trade. Hitting the keep, and the keep going down. Immortal still on like 75% health. Looking at the core, Slug also closing in towards level 20 a bit faster than xrayy. And with the AoE shields on level 13, now giving everyone a lot of shields.
They are actually going core here. We see the core drop down to 80% already. And there's a Wailing Arrow, but it's actually hitting no one. Malfurion is the first who falls. The core is down to 50%, and now it's getting closer and closer. 30%. Immortal is down. It's 30%. But I don't think they can get killed. We have the Earth, Wind, and Fire pulled out. ATC and Chen. 10%, 9%, 7%. But it actually get the quadruple kill. And they are all dead. And the top lane is open. So this might be turned around. And we might see the finish of xrayy wins this every day. There surely must be enough time. There's nothing to provide the last 7% here. What a close call here for xrayy wins this every day. They were able to get the kills in the clutch moment. Sanctification pulled up maybe just a little bit late, but that's... Oh, what can you tell? It worked perfectly for them.
Well, 7%. 7% is the Slug, was the Slug away from winning this game number 1, where xrayy wins these every day, had first pick and map choice.
I mean,
and 7% away from me.
What can you do? I mean, you have to think that the gods are against you. If you face 2 games like that, so close, so clutch, and you ended up losing both of them, this must be morally disastrous. I think, yeah, it's really clutch for the Slug to not give up from this. They had 2 fair shots at winning against xrayy wins every day, and all they need is 3 more of them, and then have the luck on their side.
I would actually love to see the Immortal damage stats, because if we take a look on those damages, we see Chromie and Hanzo with the most, followed up by Sylvanas. And then again, Thrall for xrayy wins these every day, but then we also have Zeratul, Jen, and ETC. ETC getting some nice engages onto, especially Chromie. Then she was in the need of using the timer, and then Chen was there with Storm of Fire off to follow it up. But in the end, still, on the core, it was not enough for the Slug.
Yeah, and if you look at the damage numbers, we actually see a fair distribute. And this was a close game already. We have a 12 to 16 kill count. So actually, even xrayy wins this every day with less kills here. And yeah, as you said before, this was the map where xrayy had a free run with first pick and map pick that they really want to start with. And this was close already. So not saying too much about the series, and I guess we can expect a close game coming next.
Also, for everyone interested, we have now the map bans going, starting with the map bans of xrayy wins these every day, and then we have the Slug having the choice between first pick or map pick.
So what can we expect from the further or from the future games? I guess we can expect a Chromie ban basically all of the time. We already saw a lot of a high priority pick on Chromie in basically yesterday already in the Legendary Cap, and today basically all day long. She was either picked or banned in most of the games. So, like, do you expect a ban against her?
I mean, it's hard to say. I would say hard depends on the map. As you can always make arguments against the Chromie on some maps. But I'm not sure. All those 2-lane maps are pretty nice for her, but also like the 3-lane maps seem quite good for them.
Yeah, since the rework, I mean, we always talked about Chromie in the early days, that she was having trouble as an AoE mage to provide with that wave clear. But it feels like since that rework, she got that covered pretty well. And yeah, every game that I see of Chromie, she either does insane amounts of damage or at least good amounts of damage. And yeah, so she seems to be in the meta like nothing else.
We also have the lobby already open for the next game, which will be Infernal Shrines.
So we do end up on the map that we basically expected to see every game, and so we do in this final, of course, as well. Keep in mind, as this is a best of 5, so we with 4 map bans, and in case of all cases 5 map picks, we end up on seeing 9 maps either picked or banned, and that's basically all that there are in the Heroes Launch map pool. So yeah, we might see also some maps that we haven't seen so far.
Yes, Infernal Shrines. Left open of the maps we did not see too much is still Sky Temple and Garden of Terror. The Sky Temple we saw already earlier today, played by those 2 teams, where actually the Slug was really close to starting a comeback in the later stages of the game, but it's still Sky Temple, so xrayy wins these every day was able to get it back on their side due to not feeding too much.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that, like we said before, they did well in the semifinal to get rid of that loss that they just had from xrayy wins this every day. And now it's going to be clutch for them to make this even faster, as they don't have this 5-minute break that they hit before, because they lost again such a close map. This time maybe even closer, if you want to say so, with 7% on the core. That is basically nothing at level 20, which they had. And afterwards, yeah, you have even less time to get rid of it, to make it mentally free and go like freely into the next game. I guess that is going to be a clutch call here for the.
We have all players in the lobby. Getting asked if we are ready, and I think so. Ready to go. Meanwhile, thank you Ramax TV for the 99 bits. Just hope I did not miss anyone. Nope, I did not miss any. Cheers, thanks for that. I think we're starting into game number 2. Hopefully.
There we are.
Yeah.
So Infernal Shrines is the map. Still expecting maybe a Chromie ban, although she has less value on Infernal Shrines for sure. What heroes do you expect? Will we see another Chen here?
I think Chen will be banned again. Chen is really a strong hero. Letting him open is very dangerous usually. Vala is the first ban. Understandable, she's very good.
Yeah, we saw during the regular season actually xrayy wins this every day being really comfortable with the Vala with the double support pick here on basically any map. So I guess it's kind of a target ban against xrayy, who have the first ban now on their side.
Looking at the Valor and her stat, she has a figure of 29%, win rate of 55, and a ban rate of 15%, so she's not as popular as we saw the Chen being or Alarak. She's still doing very good, especially with the win rate, and she's a very strong hero for those double support combos, which are played more often lately again. Especially together with an Oriel 4x the multi-shot build, she deals a lot of damage and also gives a lot of hope due to this big AoE damage she provides towards her team. Also keep in mind, betting is set up, exclamation mark, bet A if you think xrayy win this, or exclamation mark, bet B if you think the Slug will win this.
And so we do see the Johanna ban, and again, Samuro is taken from the side of the Slug. Again, like we saw, a Samuro play from the Slug can be devastating on Volskaya Foundry in the semifinal. Johanna, like I said the last time that we were on Inferno Shrines, I think she's the #1 tank on Inferno Shrines. So no wonder she gets banned out. And again, they try with the High Lord. Still thinking he is in the meta. He must be. He was banned out in the first match. So question will be, will he carry to a victory this time finally?
We see against the Alarak, we see more Furen and Hansa picked up. Yeah, I mean with Hansa we see again a very strong hero coming in. xrayy already did a lot of work with it in the last series and now they pick it up again.
First bets already coming in, just seeing that Alarak pick here. And yeah, so far win rate is talking against these bets. But we see the Mal'Ganis and the Ana, so again, this time we might see Nano Boost Alarak. I mean, I'm not expecting a Kalsus that time or something like it.
I mean, I really want to believe that the Alarak works this time, especially with them picking the Mal'Ganis, but the stats are just speaking so hard against it.
Which is surprising, to be honest. I mean, we've seen different builds on the Alarak as well, and none of them worked. Yeah, so maybe the High Lord found his way out of the meta, as surprising as he did find his way in. So Garrosh banned out here. That leaves not too many tank options. I still value Diablo on Inferno Shrines pretty much. Although since the reworks, he's not that highly prioritized in the last few weeks, but I still, boom, there we go. See my favorite hero coming in. That's good for
Diablo. Interesting to see ETC being ignored here in this draft. Junkrat also now picked up together with the Diablo and Hanzo on the side of xrayy. I mean, Hanzo Diablo is a very strong combo. You have the Drang Arrow into APOC combo, which is a massive amount of CC. You can easily kill backliners with it. And Junkrat with the Reptile can do even more in it.
We see this little answer with the Sylvanas and the Lyric, but one thing I want to talk about Diablo Junkrat is if you get the wall stun in from the Diablo, usually if the Junkrat is not too far, he can place the concussion mine and detonate it in time so that after the overpower, that target gets pulled out from the concussion mine immediately, and then it might be a nice target for Hanzo or Junkrat himself with the damage coming in, as well as the Thrall, which is gonna be the solo laner again and facing the Leoric.
Yeah, I mean, looking at those two drafts, as much as I love Leo, I just think the combo of xrayy wins these every day is too strong. Having the Hanzo Diablo combo with Drang's Arrow into APOC, having the Junkrat with Ripped afterwards, and especially at level 20 with the Kun reduce onto those Rip Tires, they will deal massive amount of damage, and I don't think Ana can handle this, especially as Ana will be one of the heroes they are definitely be able to engage at some point.
Yeah, that's probably the main fear for them. The one thing they got working for them is probably Shrine Clear with that Leoric and that Sylvanas. On the other side, of course, Hanzo and Junkrat are not too bad with that either. But they do have the Sylvanas, and if they manage to get one John Cena in, that might actually help the Slug here quite a lot, as they do have that bonus push potential with the Sylvanas trait.
Yeah, in the meantime, looking shortly at the stats of Out of Order, a support player of the Slug, playing a lot of different supports apparently, 6 difference, not kind of unusual for supports. Anyways, we will start on the left hand side with the Slug. Out of Order we just talked about on the Ana, Lopaka on the Alarak, Helicoon playing Sylvanas, Freaks on Morganis, and last but not least we've got Kuopen playing the Lyric.
And on the side of xrayy wins this every day, we do have Calvin on the Hanzo, we have xrayy himself on Malfurion, we have Wit playing the Diablo here, Galaxy is on the Junkrat, and Abla is playing the Thrall. And we have a break.
I love the way that he refers to xrayy as the German one, not the... Yeah, okay, it seems like he's back.
There's actually a lot of German bashing going on in the chat.
5, 4, 3,
Socken in Sandalenträger.
Socken in Sandalenträger, yes.
Some people may know, but we're actually both mainly speaking German, so all understand those memes.
Yeah.
Looking at the talents, we've got a cue ball from Hanzo this time, so no redemption. I mean, especially on the other side, we saw on the side of the Slug, we have the Alarak, who can deal massive amount of damage as soon as you overstep due to redemption, trying to get in 1 or 2 more auto attacks than you usually would.
Yeah, so we see the Ruthless momentum again going on for the Alarak here on level 1. And yeah, that's actually helping them a lot. This time we do not see that redemption build to provide with even more damage. We see full Q build coming in from the Hanzo, as he will go for the explosive arrows on level 4. There's only one talent on this map on Hanzo, and it's that. Yeah, already finished 1 stack. I guess he had his 3 hits onto the Mal'Ganis. And Mal'Ganis is going with the Night Rush, interrupted by the Root, but nothing too crazy going on. Both teams exchanging just the siege camp here. And on the top lane, we have the solo laners.
Diablo meanwhile rotating to get his stacks in. Freaks now getting scouted out here by the mine. Diablo coming in, getting the wall stun against him. Root as well as the overpower. Freaks taking a lot of damage on Mal'Ganis, but there's Nana being able to keep him alive. He is
That
safe.
was actually closer than expected. So that Mal'Ganis might be scared the next time. Ooh, he's still aggressively going in. The overpower is there. The Root is there. Concussion Mine just a slight bit too late, so he pushes Alarak into the wrong direction.
But that's actually what we do want to see from Division 1 teams. We see this communication from Wit on the Diablo going in with the Shadow Charge and then the overpower, and then there's Buffer and xrayy with the Root to follow up to potentially open up a kill for them.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I mean, that's what we talked about, and I didn't even calculate in the root time from the Malfurion, which is enduring the crowd control they have for a certain target even longer. So yeah, they can first of all root a target for quite some time and then isolate it with the concussion mine afterwards. And that is scary for basically every player on the side of the Slug.
Yeah, especially on the side of Malfurion, we see on level 4, we see the vengeful roots coming in, so this broccoli is coming in. It will hit hard. At some point it will even one-shot people. Oh, maybe. If it gets in enough stacks, so we're gonna see in watch out on this number as it will start to grow. As so will the broccoli. In damage, not in health, because why should it? But anyways, open weapon on top lane. The punish, and it will be a frozen one, so this will actually help the most with pushing, as the frozen thingies will... Oh, wait, we have an engage coming in as Hanzo is taking a lot of damage, but xrayy keeping him alive, and now Freak's getting knocked into the tower range, and towers go with Brawler, able to finish him off. Now we see the engage against Sylvanas, but there's the silence.
There's the triple hit from Alarak with the Discord Strike, and that might actually turn a little bit around. Immediately completing his quest, still sitting only at 100 sadism. but that provides him with a lot of Discord Strike damage.
This also means we do not have show force on level 4, which gives you extra status. It means that he wants to go with that direct bonus damage onto this Discord Strike. And keep in mind, this will not increase over time. This will not ramp up. So this one will be strong for now, really strong. In the later stage of the game, it will fall a bit, but not too much. Especially as it is increased by sadism. We see mid lane, the Thrall might be in bit trouble as Arwak is coming in. No, Arwak decides to go back to top. Punisher is about to be baited up over here. Yes, that's what you see people doing. Baited over the wall, so it can be easily be focused by the towers and the fort, but it's a frozen one, so he will disable the towers and the fort for a while. Both teams.
Well, we did see immediately the danger that is coming in from that completed quest. And after level 7, there he goes. He finally has it. He's sitting on 93 sadism as they got the kill against Hanzo here.
Goodbye,
but before
Hanzo.
that, he took half of the health bar from the Malfurion with one Discord Strike. And look at this damage. Insane.
Goodbye, Hanzo. You just got deleted. The Q hitting hard of Alarak. I'm not sure if...
Okay, so boom, that is a dead Diablo. That is okay, so he's really dangerous, and the more kills he gets, the more dangerous he is. He's now sitting at 90.
Thrall.
Be careful, come on, guys! I mean, you know it now, don't you?
The sleep dart from Anna connects, and then there he is. Thrall. Arwak push, silence, and Thrall is nearly
And
dead.
don't forget that we might even see a nano boosted Alarak. Maybe the Sylvanas as well, but if Alarak provides with a lot of sadism, I guess he's the better target for the nano boost to even get more combinations out.
Especially with this level 4 quest completed, he will be able to one-shot people with this Q nearly. And as soon as he ramps up his sadism with those kills, we saw again Junkrat hit down to 1/3 to his health due to one ability or one ability cycle.
And don't forget stuff like the Entomb, which is even making it easier for him to provide with that. Have we seen Engage coming in on him? Diablo is actually charging in, but he's just isolating himself a little bit, so he has to be careful. Freaks on Mal'Ganis taking a little bit of damage, but he's safe for the moment as well. And level 10 is around the corner, so that's probably why we see xrayy wins this every day on the run.
But so the thing, I think xrayy would get their momentum started as soon as they hit level 10 and they're able to execute those combos. In the meantime, we have Wit in the mid, taking a lot of damage, but there was 69 spell armor, but it's still not enough to keep him alive. Amazing.
Yeah, that Anna grenade negating the heal is securing the kill on this Diablo, who's sitting at 89 souls. He needs just these 11 more. But that's always the problem with the Diablo. He barely has an escape. If there's not a Q he can really charge to, which is out of the problematic situation, then he has basically none of the escapes, and he's gonna fall every time.
Also, keep in mind.
By the way, there's Breath of Fire taken on level 10. So what do you think about that?
I mean, he's lately played sometimes Strength Arrow into Lightning Breath, but it's mainly because of our tank to the misclick, so I honestly don't like it. I think the Slug will have this game now. I think this was their one condition to win the fights.
Yeah, it felt like, I guess they had that idea in mind, but to be honest with you, they do fear a lot of lockdown coming in as well from the Leoric, the stuns from the there it goes, the engage first. We have to level 10.
Reptile!
They do find the engage against the Alarak, and that's the way they probably can finish this nano boost on the Sylvanas, but she falls immediately to the Breath of Fire as well. And Mal'Ganis used the Carrier Swarm, but he's getting focused on. But there's the root against him, and he will probably fall to the damage.
Oh
no, he thought no. He's fallen as well.
He stayed alive for long, but that was the thing. They got the engage, they got the Rip Tear burst damage in, and that's the thing xrayy needs. The Rip Tear with this burst damage.
Yeah, that was just a well-executed team fight. But to talk more about this, there's one thing about Breath of Fire that I think is sometimes really underestimated, and that is the unstoppable that you have during that time. So if you see an engage coming in, if you know that Alarak is gonna try to pull you in, you might be able to dodge that with just these cleanse flames, these unstoppable frames.
You also always have to keep in mind, Diablo has the soul shield at level 1, especially now as he has 100 souls, he will get up to 75 spell armor in the time. But there we see again Malfurion just being one-shotted by this Alarak.
Yeah, and he's immediately starting to climb this sadism back up. He's sitting at 93 again. Riptire is probably at least gonna finish the Punisher. There it comes. It's again a Mortar Punisher coming in.
But against Leo.
Coming on under that Alarak. There's the Dragon's Arrow to immediately negate all the damage, but a Carrion Swarm is here to save the Mal'Ganis, and the Alarak is there with the kill against the Diablo.
We see Alarak coming towards the top lane, looking for Thrall. Right of Rakshir coming in on Alarak level 13, so he will start ramping up this sadism. He goes, as we see Thrall going down. Alarak is already up to 107. Meanwhile, mid lane Punisher defended by Anna and Sylvanas. They are fine there. Oh, with gonna go for a combo against Leo, but not quite get it.
Leoric is able to get his Drain of Hope there on the Diablo, and as long as he has this, and there's actually the engage against him again with the Entomb, and now Diablo is falling for another time, and that is actually already his don't let me say something wrong, 4th death. So more than the half of the deaths is on the count of the Diablo. He's having a really a lot of trouble to survive.
I mean, looking at the team of the Slug, they really show what you can do against the Diablo. They have the Entomb as a kind of a... either you engage into us now, or we just kill you because you're standing in an Entomb and you cannot retreat in any way or form. And that's also one of the problems I still feel with Malf. Like, you do miss this burst healing you have. Keep something like Diablo alive while he is in this Entomb. You also see from Alarak deadly charge on level 13, so he will be able to charge down some of his opponents. Dragon's Arrow coming in the meantime, hitting free lightning breath as well. Anna taking a lot of damage, nano boost onto Alarak, and he is charging in, but there's the silence coming in from Malfurion, so the nano boost did not do too much, and Sylvanas is actually the first one to fall, and now Mal'Ganis is in a rough spot, and Riptire securing, no, not yet securing the kill, but Chelvin should be able to do so. Yes, he is. The number 2 kills going over towards xrayy wins these every day.
What an amazing play. We saw the nano boost on the Alarak, so he tried to get a kill there, but he had a lot of problems because he deadly charged right into a steel trap from the Junkrat, and afterwards was silenced and rooted and all the way controlled through to his stealth, and that was basically the key to this win here.
Twilight Dream coming in, really negotiating all Alarak could have done with the nano boost. Really clutch one. Also, the Dragon's Arrow was a very nice engage for Diablo, as he had a very nice lightning breath hitting 3 people. And especially out of order on the Anna was not able to escape from this one.
They do find really strong engages with the Dragon's Arrow there, being able to follow it up with a Breath of Fire in a narrow path. So this actually works out for them just fine, at least in the last fight that we just saw.
You can see the Junkrat going for trap build with the double traps, the chasing trap and silencing trap, and also the increased damage as soon as a trap or a mine hits a hero. This hurts a lot to the Slug, because as soon as he is able to set up his mine, his traps around, they will not have a lot of possibilities to go in sneaky or something along those lines. Especially Alarak will have a hard time as soon as he deadly charges into one of those mines, as he did in the last fight.
Objective is immediately started from the Slug here. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is trying to find an engage here. We see the concussion mine on the Mal'Ganis, but he had Night Rush still available. And there's the Dragon's Arrow, but actually it's not followed up by anything, so it's just gone. We have Earthquake taken here, but there's a lot of damage coming in on the Diablo, and he actually falls to the Sylvanas here. Riptire is coming in, hitting 3 people, but there's the double combinations hitting the Thrall and the Malfurion at the same time from the Alarak, and they are dropping really low and immediately have to retreat here to be really careful.
Deadly charging
Oh, coming
in.
in with the deadly charge again, just as I was about to relax, and they get the kill against Hanzo here. Come on, don't do this to me. I was just about to relax and say something about the map and objective, stuff like that.
Let this old man relax, please. Let this old man relax, as we have Alarak going with the plays. Getting those kills in as the first deadly strike was interrupted actually by the earthquake. And Diablo was not able to pop his soul shield in time, so he just got bursted by an Alarak. You also see already Sylvanas looking at the side wall, open this one, so as soon as the Punishers are coming in, jumping on one person, they are able to entomb and engage onto that person.
Deadly charge will be ready by the time, and the entomb for sure is already. And Leoric is just coming in. He's probably have the same timing as John Cena, so they do have quite a deadly combination coming up once the jump is there. There's the jump, there's the entomb, there's no deadly, oh, deadly charge was attempted, but actually he's rooted and the silence is disrupting everything there. We have the nano boost coming in on the Alarak, but he's not benefiting from it. At least nobody died. That's the good news, but that attempt went horribly wrong.
Yeah, but it's also the thing which is always coming in when I see the chasing trap, because Freaks just took the trap and put it here, so it was unable to interrupt them during their engage. Also this time we saw it, Diablo was able to get out his soul shield, so he was able to stay alive. And with the lightning breath, infusing the lightning breath, he was also unstoppable, so they were not able to like pull him out or something along those lines to get him repositioned. To get him in the need of being repositioned. Morgana is going in, getting the sleep on.
Going for this fight. We see Riptire just to get that Morgana's down, and he's getting focused a lot, but actually he's still alive. Well, oh, he does not get the carrion swarm through as it was still on cooldown. And there we go. It's a 5 against 4 situation, and that definitely secures that camp on the side of xrayy wins this every day, who might have a fair push here coming in. Now we see the Diablo quest finished yet again, so he's sitting at 100 souls, which provides him with a lot of health and bonus survivability due to that soul shield, negating 75% of all the damage that he gets.
We also have Diablo meanwhile going for the full W build, and now they are going for the Leo on top. He has the Wraith Walk, so he should be fine. Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah. And that is a wasted breath of fire, I would say so. Which basically already, it has an 90-second cooldown, so that is kind of a big waste there. And we actually see the first smile coming in here from the Leoric.
Leo being happy that he was able to pop out his Wraithwalk there and just escaping, because it's just Leo things.
Yeah, pretty well played by him as well. Not only escaping through the direct way, which some player would probably do if they get ganked like that, and they would go into panic mode, so they would really try to go away as fast as possible, but immediately going with the Wraith Walk through the enemies to reduce their damage by at least 50%. No, what's it? Yeah, 50% less damage, and that is helping him to survive during the Wraith Walk as well.
For now we see the Berserker Camp taken over from the side of xrayy, and on the other side we see it prepared just to be taken. Both teams closing towards level 20, and looking at level 20s, the Slug will actually have a very good one on the side of the Silence Entomb.
Yeah, that Silence Entomb is a game changer itself, for sure, 100%. We do have the Seeker Swarm coming in as well, which is gonna blind people for quite some time.
Sleep.
And that, I mean, not in the, you know,
Sleep.
auto attacks won't hit.
Sleep people for 2.5 seconds. The Seeker Swarm. So we see the Riptire with extra oomph. So, Infinite Riptire coming in will be crucial, I guess. Pretty as soon as
not yet decided. He goes for the bullseye actually. So maybe providing with another stun time there. 15 minions already collected. Top lane is pressuring a lot, so we see the Slug trying to delay this a little bit, but they have to force a fight now. They're down on the count on the minions very much. We have Leoric focusing on taking a lot of damage, but he's actually healed from the Anas. active reload. And there comes the engage on the Leoric, but he's able to get the Wraith Rock in again. We have Morgana's able there, but the Riptire hits in the backline. It hits 2 targets. Frozen Punisher is already secured, and there comes the Breath of Fire, which is upgraded on level 20. So he's gonna stand there for a while and use his Breath of Fire, and he's actually charging after the Alarak, trying to get a kill there as well. They get the Morganas in the backline either, but now the Alarak, Diablo has to be a little careful, but so does the Ana. She's dropping lower and lower. She's only at 500 HP, and if they get the arrow, oh, the arrow slightly misses the Ana there, coming from a far away. That's not too surprising there. And Ana gets away for another moment, but the Punisher is already going towards the core, and it might finish the game here as they try to get a kill against xrayy there in the middle, but
Broccoli just killed Sylvanas. I doubted them, but they proved me wrong in the end. I doubted them, but xrayy wins these every day, picking up the map on game number 2.
So we do end up after this game in a 2-0 lead already for xrayy wins this every day, and this time it wasn't even a close one. The main question I want to ask to all of you guys out there is, can we see an Alarak win?
No.
For once.
I mean, we saw it.
What is wrong with the High Lord
We
these
saw
days?
it here again. The very last fight, Alarak was about to deadly charge in, and then the Changred Riptire coming in and knocking him over the wall, so he was zoned away and could not do anything in this fight. And he was the person who was Nano Boost, so he was really useless. Nano Boost was wasted as well in this fight because of this perfect Riptire coming out from Galaxy on the Junkrat.
And to be honest with you, I mean, if you look at the damage numbers, it's kind of surprising that, like, I mean, we see still Alarak at the top damage, and usually Alarak is not providing the top damage. He provides with that single target burst damage to get the kills in, and usually you have like a Sylvanas with higher damage, something like that would to be expected here. But actually we see Alarak sitting at 50, almost 50k hero damage, and Sylvanas only at 34. So Sylvanas having a lot more trouble in this game to get her damage in. And on the other side, Hanzo providing with the top damage here again, but a lot more distributed, as Junkrat and Thrall are showing numbers that are not too shabby either.
Yeah, really good numbers coming in. Especially, you can also take a short look on those talents. Interesting to see from Diablo going for the full W build, but it also gave him the voice resets onto his soul shield, because every time he damages an enemy hero, it reduces cooldown by 1 second, so W is the best way for that. So this time we see Junkrat with the endless nades, so no spread volley, getting a lot more nades in compared towards the spread volley, because he cannot just always pop them. Meanwhile, we also have the map chosen. Shortly saw.
Yeah, we actually end up on Sky Temple here. Kind of expected from, I guess it was a map pick. I haven't checked it yet, but I guess it was a map pick from the Slug here.
No, it was from xrayy. The Slug going for the first pick, and xrayy going towards Sky Temple.
Oh well, that after the game that we saw first of these two teams on Sky Temple, that was pretty close. So that's a gutsy call. Like, if you have basically you have match point. You have match point for the Mythic Championship here, and you go on the map that you already had a close game against them.
I mean, it's
interesting choice.
It's quite understandable. Like, if you take a look on the maps left open, Crystal Hollow, Gaia Foundry, and Garden of Terror. Not a lot of teams do play Garden of Terror, so we can just point that or give it away. And then Cursed Hollow and Gaia Foundry, just two kind of standard maps. And Sky Temple is really one of those maps which is not played a lot. So if you get to play it, your opponents might be a bit off comfort. But we saw both teams already playing it last series. They played in the upper, in the winner bracket. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest. If the Slug are going for Auroch again, I think they're gonna lose again.
Yeah.
The stats are just speaking so hard against Auroch.
I mean, after the experience that we've made, I would not be surprised to see neither an Alarak ban nor an Alarak pick. Like, really, just get rid of this High Lord. Come on, throw him on the trash. Gone. time is over. The time of the High Lord is over.
It seems so, but still, I think if xrayy is able to pick out themselves if they want to do it, they might be able to build a nice combo around it. I'm just not so sure about all of this.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it just after the last game. It's not really due to that Alarak, but to be honest with you, what do you want to happen for an Alarak to win a game? He had Discord Strike quest on level 4 finished in minute 4.5 or something like it. That is just... it's really surprising that even with that, you're not able to win the game. But again, as we said before, I don't think that they were missing some Alarak damage in that case or in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he was one-shotting Mafurn and Junkrat nearly, like, bringing down to 1/3 of its health. So, if you're not able to get more value out of an Alarak, I don't know what you can do more with it. I mean, yeah, of course, the last fight decided everything, and there his deadly charge was luckily interrupted by the Junkrat, luckily for the side of xrayy. Still, Alarak is something like a 30% win rate in Division 1. Yes, out of the replays I have, he's on 33%, so not a lot of teams are able to pick him up because he's banned a lot, but if teams are able to pick him up, the teams actually know how to play against him, so...
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, Diablo, even when he was like picked or banned every game, he didn't even provide with a high win rate then. He still had a win rate around the 40 to 45%. But he's that kind of hero that really can, with good engages, secure you the kill. And basically that's why many teams love to play him.
And we see everyone in the lobby. Probably because Alarak is overrated. Good versus right stuff on right map, Matt as first pick. Yeah, that's the thing. That's always the thing with Heroes of Storm in general, I would say. Most heroes just have the moments where they shine. There are very few which is very versatile, like a Hanzo or so. Alarak is just one of those melee assassins. You do not always get the correct value out of it. So,
and I think you have to... I mean, there's a difference. Of course, if we're talking about Heroes Line statistics, that is not the case. But if you talk about Heroes of the Storm statistics in general, Storm League statistics, you have to keep in mind that there are certain heroes that work exceptionally well in a coordinated 5-man team. Like Maiev, for example. Like Maiev is the first that comes to my mind when I think of a hero that does not work as well in a solo queue in Storm League, but works very well in a 5-man because she can initiate very strong, and if your team is ready for that, can really benefit from her a lot. And I guess Diablo is one of these kinds too. He can't do much. He really has to be able to follow it up by the damage, like we just saw in the last game.
I mean, so those heroes always depend on the rank as well, because heroes like a Tracer, Illidan and stuff works in I don't know, like plat, gold and stuff. So it is because people usually do not really know how to play against it. If you look then into the higher ranks, people know how to play against stuff like an Illidan, and they are able to play against it and know how to counter him. That's always the thing. I feel like it's the same for Alarak. It's kind of the same for Alarak. People know how to counter him.
Yeah, it looks like it, at least. We see him not being able to dominate at any time. But here we are in the draft. First pick is on the side of the Slug again, as they have chosen. So we ended up on Sky Temple, and they do have a first ban. And it's interesting, they seem to think about it. And they actually go for the Dehaka here. Very understandable choice. I know that you could understand it easily.
Dino! Not again! I want to see him played, actually. So yeah, I'm a Dehaka main, so it always hurts in my heart when I see him banned. Anyways, you also see Samur being banned out by xrayy, as this is one of the maps where the Slug with Kuopen on the Samur can do a lot. To add another comment from the chat, as Hatemanten says, are good at punishing bad positioning and makes him very worthwhile in YOLO queue. If you can play him, especially because people aren't coordinated enough to punish him back often, which is why I think he's already in the launch high level. Yeah, that's everything we said, and I think we have no one who agrees on us. So we are agreeing on this, and the Slug decide to ban out Sylvanas as well, as she's also making more and more appearance lately, and now we see the OP pick on Sky Temple Abathur. Is also removed from this game as Abathur.
I guess you have to remove the Slug from the Slug, so that's not too surprising here. If you have a team name like that, and if you have a map like Sky Temple, they could run for a combination with an Abathur. It might open up for some cheese though as well. Like we might see, as they do have the last pick, we might see xrayy coming in, maybe even with the Vikings here, who are really strong. And I know that xrayy played Vikings from time to time on certain maps. And Sky Temple surely is one of them where you could try something like it.
We see Mafur and Mal'Ganis are picked up against the Rega from the Slug. I mean, with the first pick of Rega, they already get one of the best healer, or the best healer to clear camps. Which is also quite nice on this map, as you usually want to go for the easy camp at 1 minute and then at 2 minutes for the bruiser camp, so you're sending the bruiser camp in the top lane, so it pushes while the wave is while the temple is up. And we actually see xrayy wins these every day now, picking up the Mal'Ganis themselves. They are going to play the Sleepy Boy, who always says he needs to feed. And they pair it with Mofurn, so we have Sleep Intrude, maybe even Sleep into Twilight Dream, possibly.
Yeah, on the other side, we do see ETC coming in, and so far there's no real interrupt for the Mosh. We do have 3 picks left for sure, so they might have a lot of stuff coming in. I think what I'm thinking here is, like, we do still have the value of global on Sky Temple, so we might see a false set coming in. The spoken Lost Vikings might even occur here on the side of xrayy. But then I would expect like kind of a strong 4-man, maybe picking the Sylvanas is banned out, so maybe coming in with a gray main even here, providing not only with a lot of damage but also with good camp here and strong push potential in case they go for a 4-man with the Vikings. Instead, we do see the Tracer coming in here and the Jaina. That is a lot of burst for Zeratul, so Zeratul has really to be careful here. On the other side, Zeratul might have a nice target on Jaina.
But also, when I see people, I know some people which are Tracer one tricks, and I love to play Zeratul against it because Tracer is having such a hard time against Zeratul. So I really do not understand this pickoff of a Tracer against the Zeratul already. And also now we have the next counter against Tracer as we see the Reyna pick up. And it will...
Yeah, Reyna has an easy time against Tracer. He just has to be in sort of a safe, semi-safe position and then provide just with an A move onto the Tracer, and that Tracer will feel the pressure soon enough and has to back off sooner than she would want to.
I just have to...
And especially on Sky Temple, really surprised by that Tracer pick here. And there we see Uther coming in. So, okay, maybe Mal'Ganis initiation with a Night Rush coming, follow up by the Roots. All of this time, burst damage coming in from the Jaina, who might not go for Ring, by the way, because she has to control the Zeratul somehow if she gets targeted on. So she might go for the Water Elemental here. And we have the Uther, maybe Divine Storm. I don't know.
We see on the side the Slug. We see the up in picks. We see the Kuopen playing the ETC this time, so Freaks is on the Jaina in the main tank, so we see an offline ETC coming in. I mean, I kind of like the draft of xrayy wins these every day, but still, the Slug has just so many good picks against him. Like, I just cannot vote for xrayy in this game. I'm really sorry for it. I mean, I doubted them. You can feel free to prove me wrong again, but picking the Tracer into the Zeratul, yes, it is not so good because they have an Uther now to counter the Zeratul, so as soon as Zeratul tries to engage onto Tracer or Jaina, Uther will be there to, you know, stun him, and then they're able to throw all the burst on him, especially when there is a Mofurn to follow it up, or maybe even Divine Storm himself.
Yeah, actually, we see xrayy himself placing a big bet on xrayy wins this every day. So they seem to be very happy with that draft. To be honest with you, I like the draft on the side of the Slug more, but we're going to talk about it more in a second as the game is about to go down.
Yes, we're starting on the right hand side with the Slug. We've got Freaks on the Johanna, Kuopen on ETC, Out of Order on Rega, Helikun on Reina, and Hulopaka on the Zeratul.
And on the other side, xrayy wins this every day, coming in with Calvin on the Jaina. We have xrayy himself on Malfurion. Galaxy is playing the Tracer. We have Abla on the Uther, and Wit is playing the Mal'Ganis.
And as in the chat asked, yes, Aberfur was banned as he is the strongest hero on this map, I think. Looking at the talents.
Wait a minute, we might not have the time for this, as we do have an early engage coming in onto open on the ETC. He gets the full salvo of the Jaina, and he's dropping lower and lower, and Mal'Ganis is even going afterwards. Tracer is trying to get the finish off, but she has to blink out before she can kill him, and there he goes and survives for another day. Already a close call for the
xrayy is very happy with himself when he games every day. Wow. Anyways, looking at his talents, we see the mostly standard builds coming out. We see on the side of ETC, we see a Guitar Hero coming in, so he heals for 6% of the power attack damage he deals, while Guitar Soul is active. Also, basic attacks increase the duration of it.
Yeah, I mean, like if we talk draft, I like this stage dive ETC. Having a global on your side is providing you with a lot of bonus on this map. And there we go for the first invade on the enemy siege camp from the side of the Slug, who are really starting this game very aggressive here. You can really feel in the game style they play so far that they have the backs, they're on the back of feet, as they really need a win desperately.
Yeah. We have Zeratul again going for move unseen, as we saw in the last time. We see the Zeratul going for this fast rotations in, especially the fast invincible as well.
Yeah, here comes a fun fact from the chat that actually Sky Temple has, during the regular season and the Mythic Championship group stage, has only been played 3 times. And we already see it twice today, and especially with these two teams for the second time against each other. So there's not probably, that is speaking against the idea of xrayy wins every day, of having a certain strategy on Sky Temple. But maybe it's something they just prepared, especially for the final round, for the knockouts.
Within top lane right now, both Bruiser camps pushing in together with 3 members of each team. We see Zeratul joining the Slugs, so they are 4v3 theoretically. Now still taking mid, so in the bottom we see Johanna against Tracer going up. Also keep in mind, Johanna is one of the strongest tanks in terms of wave clear, so she can just go mid, clear that wave, and go back to bottom. But we have Zeratul here now as well, and now Witch is coming in. The ETC is kind of far in the open. Maybe Mal'Ganis looking for an engage here. Time we have Ablar taking some damage here on the Woofer.
xrayy with a lot of trouble, but he actually falls to the blink of the Zeratul, who is coming back in and finishes him off. Good pickoff from the side of the Slug. And that actually leaves them with a big advantage, as the temples were just about to go down. Rhaegar can easily solo temple on the top lane. Jaina is already moving towards the bot lane. Mal'Ganis is trying to delay on the mid temple, but actually now he's getting focused on. His Qs are already out. Now the rush is coming in, and he's actually getting the triple sleep, so he can escape very safe and very easily. Meanwhile, Rhaegar is kind of forced to retreat from the top temple. Mid temple is continued to be pushed from Johanna, and now she has to be careful on the top lane. We have a 3 against 3 situation. Nice focus with the pulse bomb on the Reina in the back line, but now they find and engage towards that Uther, but he has his heals up, and these 3 try to battle it out. The temple is in the hands of the Slug, so they get the 5 shots coming in. The 4 bonus shots, and now they are on a retreat, but we do get another engage on that Reyna, but the pulse bomb, the melee strike is not enough. But on the other side, we do see the Jaina fall in the mid lane. Meanwhile, we are on the top lane, and ETC is falling there as well. So it's a 1-for-1, but on different sides of the map.
Now throwing ourselves back towards the middle, we see the Morgana is actually taking a lot of damage there from the Zeratul, and now Zeratul has to escape as the last shots in the mid are taken over by the Slug.
Yeah, if you value this 1v1, a 1-for-1, it's pretty good trade for the side of the Slug, who were actually able to get a kill on a temple that was still shooting, meanwhile losing alive at the top where the temple was already done. So they did get more out of the temple phases. Top wall is gone, a little bit of damage on the fort. Mid wall is gone, second tower is almost down. On the other side, they are still looking pretty hard on their own buildings.
Yeah, we also have the broccoli this time again coming in from Malfura. Now we see Morgana is looking for an engage against Johanna, but she's just able to pop the Iron Skin and walk away. Also interesting to say, we have this time the Giant not with the hold your ground on low one, instead she has the loss of it, so going for the increased health regenerations and taking the 30% of her max health over 4 seconds. As an active ability as well, will help her a lot sustaining on those temples. We have meanwhile Uther falling.
Yeah, on the top lane, Zeratul being able to chase him for quite some time there. And if you do only have enough time on a Zeratul, you get down basically any target you want.
With level 4 talent coming in psionic strength, he is increasing his damage by 6% every time up to 30. Close miss there against the Tracer from Zeratul. Him again going for the warp skirmishes, so we will probably see a referred auto attack, more damage and demanding strikes on level 13 and 16. We also have Rega taking the cleanse here, which is quite a nice pickup for him. Jaina able to deliver some burst into a good follow up. So like you got Malfura and Rude something along those lines, and Uther's done.
I think I finally get the running gag here from Frank Lucas in the chat coming on and on again. He says this every time, that Rhaegar, once he picks clans, that he picks it against 0 CC. I guess he knows that he's choking around, as we pretty much know that this is not 0 CC that they are facing currently.
The Uther alone gives you a lot of CC. Looking on the both teams, we also have level 10 coming in. We see Blessed Shield, Stage Dive, Industrial Healing, Rain as Raider, and Might of the Nearest team top lane. We have in the meantime this Bruiser camp taken. Now they're looking at this ETC. This is stun, another stun, and the Twilight Dream to burst him down. On the side of xrayy, see level 10 Ring of Frost. Twilight Dream already saw Quantum Spike, Divine Storm, and the Carrion Swarm as well.
Yeah, interesting stuff going on here actually. Interesting strategy on Sky Temple to go for both of the Bruiser camps, and actually Morgana is able to hold these two guys away for quite some time on the shrine and the bottom, and they actually lost the shrine, but apart from that they got such a strong push at the top lane. Even keep board is already down and they are pushing towards that keep now, and that is a good trade for half a forge on the bottom lane. They're still not having enough. They're still going for it. I mean, I would imagine that they could have retreated there. Then we have Stage Dive coming in, and they try to find an engage here. There's the Ring of Frost to delay everyone, but it's only Johanna. She has the Iron Skin ready. Zeratul is able to pick up the Tracer, but not before she gets a Pulse Bomb right into his head, and there he falls for it as well. Knight coming in from this Morgana, and they get the double kill against Reyna and Johanna at the same time as they were sleeping. And there comes another kill against Out of Order on the Rhaegar, and that means basically already the game, not the game, excuse me, but it's at least the keep that is fallen down after 8.5 minutes.
Ow. Ow. Well done there by xrayy. I doubted them, and they again showed me the very opposite. They are trading this one also in the bottom for a ford and the keep, for taking a ford and the keep in the top lane. It's really worth for them. So we see them now hitting over 13, 6 to 4 kills, being a whole level ahead. Alrighty, now the siege camps are up again and taken. For looking at this one, is not fast enough to take it.
try to invade here. Nidor's coming in just a little bit too late, and that slow against that Uther helped them to secure that camp, but it's immediately cleared from the side of xrayy wins this every day. Finds Zeratul there in an awkward spot, but on the other side, Uther has to be careful himself, but he gets away very safe.
Sleep on Trainer and Johanna now. See Jaina coming in. No follow-up onto the sleep so far. The bottom now being pushed in by the siege camp and 3 members of xrayy, but there's the stage dive in. Plus shield as well. Jaina being combo. Jaina going down. xrayy taking a lot of damage, but he will fall now as well. Galaxy on the trace on the run, but there's a Zeratul, buddy. You're not getting away so fast. Zestral to heal Zeratul back up, and now there's only Uther and Morgana's left. For the side of xrayy wins these every day, and now they're backing off. 2 temples are about to spawn, and they will be very comfortable by taking those 2.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that they decide to not go for a quick boss play first. They immediately decide to go for the double temple here. We have Morgana's facing probably Johanna at the bot lane. This is a fight that could go for an ages. Meanwhile, at the top lane, there's no chance of intervening that. We have Tracer coming back now. Every member of the team of xrayy is alive now again, and the team of the Slug is spread as far apart as you could possibly be, so they really have to be careful here. Johanna might be in a lot of trouble, although she's getting back up by her Rhaegar and the Reyna.
There she goes out. Nice interrupt against the Karen Swarm, and now we see the Ring of Frost coming in, hitting no one as Zeratul gets a nice engage onto Jaina. Is barely able to kill it. Now we see the stage, the ETC value with the stage dive in, Root underneath it. Divine Storm coming in as well. Now we see Tracer nearly going down. He's very low, but Uther goes down instead.
Amazing play here from the Slug. Being able, we see ETC just taking the top shots, immediately being able to regroup with his team and able to do his best with the stage dive there. But that everyone off the side of the Slug was alive until then is due to an insane plays from the Rhaegar and everyone else on the team, and the Johanna delaying the stuff. The Ring of Frost actually hitting and no one kind of clutch there at this moment. So very well played from the side of the Slug, who are trying to find their way back into this grand final.
Meanwhile, we have the chat complaining about the Uther is too strong and Blizzard to nerf him, and then we have another fun fact from the statistics corner, as we have Uther has a 6% win rate in Division 1 and Mythic Cup. Season 10.
60%, that is quite an amazing win rate, and who would have thought that we might see Uther way above the Alarak. By the way, he is approximately double the win rate. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, or in between the fights there, we do have another stage dive coming in. The gank on the Reyna was unsuccessful as he survives for another moment. The Ancestral is there trying to heal the ETC, I guess, but it is ended up on the Zeratul, and he gets the kill against Malfurion, but not before the ETC falls itself, and now he's killed by the Tracer, and we have a 2-for-1 situation.
There again, we see the Slug starting quite a nice fight, but then xrayy was able to turn around this fight, going for one hit out of it, and then Zeratul was in a very bad position and got punished for that one. We see them.
And then we see a siege camp now. That is one of the most painful siege camp to steal, in my opinion. Look how fast it's getting down this fort, and that even can happen to you early in the game. And the boss is gonna secure the kill against that fort, and maybe even get more away from that keep.
It's the same as in Dragonshire. You have to take care of the siege camp if it goes storm, because it just easily takes out this fort. Boss is now pushing down the bottom lane as well. Still double altar coming in now. If xrayy will be able to get those 2 altars, will actually get the mid fort at least. Boss now in the bottom, only defended by ETC anymore, as he has his stage dive and is able to join his team for the case needed. Mid lane now we see fire under the control of the Slug, and top lane under control of xrayy every day. Is there? No, not yet, but Shelvin is going for it on the Jaina now. They were hovering around here for quite some time. Zeratul now sleeping. getting the pulse bomb on top of him, but there's the shield from Rega on level 13 as he took the Earth shield. He is quite still healthy. Oh, Zeratul finds the Tracer. Let's not get an aura attack on her as she teleports away in the middle of Zeratul's animation. He's still in the bottom, deep pushing this wave. Top lane we have Catapult every lane coming in for xrayy wins these every day.
Yeah, we actually see a straight exchange of temples here, which is after the boss and that last team fight again working in the favor of xrayy wins these every day. But a fair use of that time on the side of the Slug as they split pushed on 2 lanes as Zeratul was grabbing some experience as well as the Reyna and the ETC of course on the bottom lane.
Also, for now, xrayy is a bit ahead in structures, but not too far. He still have the mid keep, which is very low health there. We have on the other side mid and bottom keep still standing. Where the wall is already missing by the mid keep. So next altar top or mid will be able to get this keep. Zeratul again looking for some flanks, trying to get a kill in from the side. Also he took again Mending Strike and Master Wall Plate as we predicted before. Uther of course
will get level 20 a split second before for the other side. And there, what a spot of Zeratul. How did he see him there?
I'm not even sure if they saw him or they
attack?
just fall, but he could be there. Let's maybe throw something in, and everyone was like, I do it. And Jaina Morgana is just like, yeah, we just throw something in.
So level 20 is around the corner for xrayy, and I guess we're gonna see disengages. Nice Q from the Reyna, saving himself with enough time. Level 20 is just here now, and they are ready for an invader top lane, but it's only 3 members as Malfurion and Uther. Double support is not here yet. Nonetheless, they try to invade there, and it looks like they are scary enough. And there we go. We have a nice leap from the side of the on the side of ETC and Rega, as we saw the Seeker Swarm hitting in.
And
we saw the kill against Tracer from the Tracer here in the end. That is quite a catch. Level 20 is here for them now as well. We have the bigger stage dive coming in. This will secure the kill. No, Divine Storm is saving him. Not for long though. He will be isolated and killed. Zeratul is still there keeping everyone else busy. But they will not get another kill. Or will they? Actually, xrayy wins this every day. Trying to get something out of here. And they get, with the blink, Twilight Dream, the kill against Zeratul. DNA Aerializer has to be a little bit careful on the Uther, though he falls as well. And now, after his resurrection kicked in, and now we have ETC again caught in the Ring of Frost, but actually no damage follow-up for him there, so he survives easily. Core is pressured by a Bruiser Camp and 2 Catapults. That has to be on the minds of the Slug. They have to be careful, but they can't abandon this temple, so we see ETC immediately going back. He has 15 seconds on the stage dive, and he will be there in time.
Over there before Tracer will be. And that's always the thing. Oh wait, we see an implied shield coming in as we see Tracer, Jaina and Malfurion going down due to a very nice engage there from the side of the Slug. Oh. What are they going for now? Not taking the objective there.
Well, they're gonna finish it pretty soon, and we do have 10 seconds on the boss count. So I guess they will go for a boss play here. Yeah, they are ready for it. And Reyna is immediately starting that. We see the global going for the temple, so they secure both of it because they can't be invaded on the boss play because ETC would be able to react in time.
Now we see them picking the boss, ETC of course on the point with his stage dive ready to go, staying for a bit, taking it. We see actually the last few shots. No, the last few shots still going over towards the Slug. The 3 shots left. If you leave as soon as 2 shots are only left, you will get it. The boss is now pushing down the bottom lane. Front wall is already down, and he's looking at the keep. And that's always the thing on Sky Temple. As soon as you get this structure advantage, you do not have to take a fight at any point, because those temples will just finish for you.
The question is, what kind of a temple phase will the next phase be? Then meanwhile, we see huge stage dive coming into the backline there. Malfurion immediately deleted, and so is the Jaina. And now we see Mal'Ganis trying to keep up whatever he can, but this does not look like much. Like the ancestral healing is coming in and is healing everyone. And now they are looking really good. Galaxy is trying to get some damage in on the Tracer, but he's chased by Zeratul, and he's actually getting the kill against her. Mal'Ganis with a 4-man sleep, but this will not help him for long as he falls as well. And this for sure means the first step of a comeback, ?
Well, at least we have a game on our hands as the Slug are able to close out this game number 2. Okay, sorry, game number 3 into their favor, which will result into us getting a game number 3 at least. Getting a game number 4 at least. Possibly the start of a reverse sweep coming in.
All right. I mean, the question is, will they be able to use that momentum that they get from this? Will they be able to actually come back and try to give us a finale that we expected? I was kind of disappointed already because in this game, it looked for quite some time as if xrayy wins these every day, would go for a straight 3-0 here in this grand finale. But now this is a complete new situation. It's only 2-1. And if you get one more win on the side of the Slug, you have the psychological advantage for sure in the decisive 5th match. And keep in mind, this is the grand finale. The winner of this series takes home the Mythic Champion.
And now we have xrayy wins these every day with the choice between map or first pick, and they go for the first pick. So we will see the map pick out of the Slug. So keep in mind for one of you, maps left open are still Cursed Hollow, Garden of Terror, and Volskaya Foundry.
Well, so everybody checking their points as they just maybe betted on the Slug, which were kind of like not too expected to win a map, especially after that second match was so much dominance from the side of xrayy wins every day. But here they let one through here. Very nice engages, good run with the stage divers. Always have an eye on that. Huge stage dive there in the last fight. The picks immediately against Malfurion and Jaina were so clutch. And if we look at the damage numbers, we see Reyna providing with the top damage of 52k hero damage. On the other side, afterwards, we have Zeratul being able to pick up 8 kills on himself, 8 out of 19, providing assistance to another 9 kills. So he basically was there for almost every kill that they got. And on the other side, Tracer, we got her on 38k and but 4 deaths on her as well. And on the other side, Jaina not really getting her AoE damage in, with a lot of problems, getting a lot of focus from the Zeratul here and the Reyna damage together with the ETC stage dive, having a lot of problems in these fights.
But that's exactly what I said. Like this Tracer pick into the Zeratul was not a good idea, because especially in this one fight where xrayy wins these every day was about to retreat from the mid lane to go towards the mid temple. Sarah was waiting in the bush, hit the Tracer with an auto attack, hit it with an R1, and she was nearly dead. And she needed to recall and was hit by Jahanna with a normal auto attack. And that's always the thing with Tracer you have against Zeratul. He is just providing a massive amount of burst, which you can die easily to, and also he is providing massive mobility, so you cannot really escape from him. Especially with this level 1 talent, he is able to chase her into oblivion.
Yeah, so decision is not yet made for the next map, I think.
Actually, it is.
Oh, actually it is.
Actually, yes. It is, and it's picked by the Slug, and it will be Volskaya Foundry. If this goes into a game number 5, the only 2 maps left open is Cursed Hollow and Garden of Terror.
Yeah, so far actually we see every time the teams deciding to go for the first pick. How do you think about it? Why is it like that the people value the first pick over the map pick most of the time?
I mean, usually in those higher ranked games, I argue for the teams having threats for every map to play. In the lower ranked games, I always argue for, as soon as you fall behind a bit, choose a map you like, go for that one, try to catch your opponent on the map he's not so good on, and then try to win with disadvantage, with the map advantage, try to win over your opponent. And that's one thing I think is not so big of a deal here, as you rather have this first pick, get this one versatile hero in, you can easily first pick, which counters a lot of our heroes who is in general very strong. Something along the lines of the ETC you can play in the offlane or in the 4-man we just saw in the game, or the Hanzo, Zeratul, whatever. Getting one of those heroes in is often very crucial at some point.
Yeah, okay, so what's Gaia Foundry? What can we expect here? I mean, it's a little bit different from the games that we've seen so far. It's completely different from Sky Temple. Lot less macro, I would say. It's all about holding that point on the objective, because the protectors are so important here. And it's all about the turrets. The more turrets you have, the easier you hold the protector, and that provides you with the capability of getting these push potential in.
Yeah, I mean, especially the difference between Sky Foundry and Sky Temple is you have the long fights. You have usually on the temples, you sometimes have long fights, but here you have it on the point, so you have a different space. You have also a quite nice possibility for Chromie to poke in, and I think this will be one of the bans we're gonna see in this game again, as xrayy wins these every day. Showed us already they can play her, and they are willing to play her, and they have the first pick in this game, so I probably may gonna even first pick it, as Chromie is one of those heroes which are very versatile with her burst, with her poke, and also the time loop or slowing sands to just control space or one-shot one person.
I'm pretty sure so too. Interesting it will be to see if we're gonna see some map targeted hero picks on any side. I mean, we do know that Lucio might have an appearance here on Volskaya Foundry. But yeah, neither of the teams so far really played him, so probably not. But yeah, we start off with the Samuro ban, sticking with that for the moment, as he's pretty strong on Volskaya. We've already seen him from the side of the Slug played here, and he was pretty devastating there, so no wonders he gets another ban.
Also, keep in mind, betting a setup again, if you think xrayy is able to close out this series with here on Volskaya Foundry, exclamation mark bet A in the number of points you want to bet, and exclamation mark bet B if you think the Slug are making it real or trying to go for a comeback into this game number 4 and bringing us towards the game number 5. And here we are with the Chromie ban we see from the Slug.
So there's a Zeratul ban, kind of a reaction to the last game here. Maybe they want to run a Tracer comp again. What do you think about that?
I mean, possibly they can. Sky Foundry is also kind of one of the better maps for it, compared to ours. It's hard to say, It can just be a safe ban to your opponent should they are willing to play a Zeratul, even if you do not have a good pick against it or a good pick for it. Now,
okay, so that is actually catching me by surprise. I know Mal'Ganis made his way through the meta for quite some time, but he actually made it up to the top ban, or first ban series. So he's banned from the side of the Slug. We see the reaction with the Liming pick on the side of every day, as she's one of the better mages on Volskaya Foundry, as it fights on open spaces. And on the other side, the reaction with the Blaze and the Johanna, and we've already seen Open do some amazing plays on the Blaze.
plays on Blaze, yeah, of course. And I mean, the Blaze Johanna gives you a lot of protection with the Blaze, with the bunker, but on the other side, we see xrayy wins these every day with Chill again. Getting the sanctification in to just save people from being engaged on, and saving them from big combos can again turn whole rounds, whole fights around.
There's a ban against Malthael. Kind of afraid of that. If you do run that double heavy front line of a Malthael there, he can provide with a lot of damage. And there we see Junkrat actually banned out, as he's kind of really strong, especially on Volskaya Foundry.
I mean, Junkrat. I mean, we saw in the last few games already what Junkrat can do. Especially with his Riptire starting at level 20, he will be able to do a lot. Especially a lot of damage.
Not only that, especially with the Steel build,
yeah.
Most of the times, the Steel Trap build can provide, and you can't really negate it.
Thanks, Galnagana, for the subscription. 25 months. You're actually longer in than myself. xrayy wins these every day. Yeah, we're gonna see if they win it, because last series they did not win it every day. But if you take a look on the side of the Slug, we already see Anna with Thrall coming in, and that's 3 melees already. So they have very melee heavy combo. Getting into Sylvanas, we see from xrayy wins these every day together with Leo is really quite some counter against it, to be fair. But keep in mind, if the Entomb is coming out, we also have until level 20 the possibility of Blaze putting down the bunker.
Yeah, bunker is there to save them, and now they picked even a hero that is very mobile, and they have the Mephisto. A new hero makes his appearance here, and on Volskaya Foundry, it is actually a hero that can work, because you really can't avoid standing on these protector spaces. So this could actually work in their favor, and it could help them a lot. But yeah, interesting to see if that Mephisto is really gonna have its value here. The downside of Mephisto, for sure, is that there's no hero in Hero of the Storm of which you can tell that he's gonna be at that certain place in 1.5 seconds, something like that. Mephisto has to be really careful from where he uses his E, from where he uses his transition into the enemy side, because after he retreats, he has to be in a safe spot so he doesn't get a full combination of that Liming.
Talking about Mephisto, he is starting on the right hand side. The Slug trying to come back. Already made one game, trying to go for a second one. We've got Out of Order playing the End of Freaks on Johanna. We've got Lopaka on Mephisto, Helicune playing the Thrall, and last but not least, we've got Kuopen playing the Place.
And on the left side, we do have xrayy wins this every day with Wit on Tyrael. We have Calvin on the Liming. Galaxy is playing the Sylvanas. xrayy himself is on the Malfurion, and Abla is playing the Leoric.
The gates are open. Go.
Looking at the ones we already see from the Blaze, we see Neural Stimpack. Over the new habits we usually see, we've did stop a bow for 2 seconds, which is quite nice.
Yeah, apart from that, we see finally an Ana on the grenade build, which is the standard way to go usually, most of the times. And an interesting talent for me to see is the Crash Lightning here on Thrall, as he is gonna run in the 4-man here probably most of the time. And yeah, immediately reacting to that, and especially on Volskaya, he can really stack the quest somewhat more.
The big thing with the grenade build on this game, I think it is, it's like you have 3 melees, they're usually very stacked up, and with Sylvanas and Ming, they also do not have too big of a fear of staying grouped. So getting the healing knight on top of them will give them a very big chunk of health back, and also increasing the healing Anna does to them is quite nice. Chiro looking for an invade here to the fortification camp, as he's taking towards the bot lane. He's not invading. We see the fortification camp picked up by both teams this time. Very standard last time we saw on this map. One team going for the healing camp rather than the turret immediately.
So this time, no tactics that we've already seen on Volskaya, where one of the teams is actually going for the support camp early here. This time we see more the attempt that we've seen a longer time ago, that both teams went for the turret first, and now we see a fight coming up around that support camp. We actually see xrayy really going for this. They're committing for this. There are 5 men here, but it's 5 against 5. All of a sudden, Mephisto coming in with a little bit of damage. Johanna is up there, and now we have all of them coming together. We have a lot of healing coming in from the Johanna on her Mephisto, and Blaze is on the point. He's all out of mana, but he's trying to hold it as fast as he can. But Mephisto is the first who falls to the Liming damage, and afterwards she gets the resets. Leoric is really low. Blaze is holding as long as he can, but actually Blaze is falling as well to the Sylvanas, and we have a 2-for-0 trade and the biotic emitter on the hands of the turret.
Also see the turrets being dropped in this fight. No turret left for both teams.
We've redesigned our trigger protect.
Short look on the stats of Out of Order on Anna. She played it once. 007, so 0 deaths. Very well done by her so far this season. So keep in mind, this does not include the games of the day.
Yeah, first thing we could see here was, I mean, one of the different or difficult situation for the side of the Slug in this fight was the lack of mana, not only on the Blaze but also on the Thrall. So they were not able to really get through with the spells when they needed them.
So now we have the point already spawned in the mid lane. With his Sylvanas still on the top lane, this means we have 3 melees for the side of the Slug down here. Doing quite some nice zoning for Anna, so Anna has enough space to heal them up.
Yeah, she has, but the percentage clock is running for being xrayy wins this every day. And on the top lane, that Mephisto is really busy with Galaxy, and he has in a lot of trouble. That wall and the 4 towers are already gone. And meanwhile, during all of that time, they are able to just get the Protector. And they still have the biotic emitter ready, so they have enough time to secure it actually, and it looks like we're not seeing an engage, although Mephisto is making his way through, so they fight for this once more. There's the engage coming in here from Mephisto, trying to provide with a little bit of damage, but Galaxy is making his way here too as well. And now we have the situation of 5 against 5 with the biotic emitter. There's the root against Mephisto, and that's the problem you have. You know where he's gonna spawn, and he's the first to fall. And Freaks on Johanna is facing a lot of trouble as well as he falls. And the Liming is able to get another reset here. And yeah, good start for xrayy wins this every day. Who are looking strong, going to close the gap here and close the game and the series.
4 heroes so far on hero kills, but keep in mind both teams do not have level 10s yet, so as soon as level 10s come in, this game changes a lot.
It definitely will. We might see Durance of Hate coming in to provide just with another route onto the Johanna, Blessed Shield and the Blaze Jet Propulsion. Meanwhile, that Subdue talent is again taken here for the side of Johanna to provide with even more slow.
Gonna see if she's able to finish it this time. Also, she saw it last time. The mid and top 4 are already down. Sylvanas had a short disconnect there.
Yes, and
so we're gonna head back to main screen
to leave the view of the match here, as we don't want to give any information here. Yeah, to be honest with you, but what we've seen, that is not only a strong start, that is really looking rough. You are completely right. There's nothing to predict before we had a level 10 against 10 fight. And but we have the first Protector, and usually with the first Protector, you get like the top fountain. That's like, you try to get mid-wall and top fountain. So that's the way you go. You try to get some pressure in, try to get down the mid-wall, and then you shift towards the top, and you hope to get the top fountain. In this case, the Protector got top and mid fort already down, and they are shifting already towards the bot lane. They still have 6 seconds, so that will not bring too much out, but yeah.
It's still like, it's not only the Protector dating down, it's the rest of the team also going towards the bottom lane. Trying to push in and maybe even get this fountain already for now. So you are not in the need of taking it later. So while we have a break, exclamation mark sign up to go for the For the guide for the next season, keep in mind the sign ups are left open for one more week until the 17th of November, 20 midnight in Central European time. If you're interested to play like this, I mean, it's maybe not Division 1, but for everyone there is something. If you want to play, it's the way Heroes of the Storm is meant to be played with the kind of team play compared towards Solo Queue, Storm League and everything else. You can sign up as alone as the so-called free agent, as a team which is not out of 5 players, then you get filled up with free agents, and if there are more free agents over, then there will be free agent teams with some very nice game, very funny games, with one theme where the community is able to decide some. And we also have then the variants of going in as 5 or more players, up to 9 as a so-called full team, and then you will be getting no more players and you will be placed in a division accounting towards your MMR on Heroes profile. Also exclamation mark Discord to make sure you are on our Discord server, as it is required for the sign-ups.
Yeah, so what are you counting in? I mean, it's obviously to stick with the game again, like you said, we might have a chance from a shift around after level 10. What for you is the one thing that Slug maybe might have in the back and might have to come out there after level 10?
I think we're gonna see a combo out of Earthquake and Endurance of Hate, so a big root from Mephisto coming in into a Earthquake. So he's able to like, after the root they're all slowed down, and so Mephisto is able to deal massive amount of damage to go with a nano boost. Then even the Blast Shield is a follow-up, or the Blaze-Stun, or maybe even a Combustion if he thinks my team is not in the need of taking this of more protection even.
I mean, especially with the Earthquake, you might have a situation where people cannot outrun the Endurance of Hate. So you might catch a lot of people in it. And if we do have a situation where we get to level 20, that would be, of course, a really, really strong talent there, a real strong power spike with that silence on the Endurance of Hate. But yeah, on the other side, it's gonna be hard because xrayy wins every day. They do have such a strong combination.
Yeah,
kind of surprised by that, to be honest with you. I did not see the real Leoric value from the Entomb so far, but it's not even here level 10. But yeah, that first push is kind of scary. A lot of value coming in from Sylvanas.
You have to keep in mind, they have Leoric Entomb into the main comp. Is already big value, and Malfurion is getting a nice stun in, and Sylvanas has a bit of time to also deal some damage towards this hero. And if this hero is not placed with a bunker or a Diana with Iron Skin, it might be dead. Except for Thrall, if he is able to get out enough abilities to heal himself up with his trade. Frostwolf pack. Sorry, Frostwolf Resilience. In the meantime, we also have another fun fact from the statistics corner, as we have Crush Lightning with 40% win rate in Division 1, which sound not too high, but if you compare it to what Thrall is, a whole hero who has 36.6 win rate, so it outperforms our talents on this tier.
Yeah, it sure does, and we already see him sitting on 16 stacks 5 minutes into the game, which is as remarkable almost as already losing to Force 5 minutes into the game. But nonetheless, we know that once this quest is finished, it provides with a lot of poke damage, and yeah, they can maybe benefit from this. So what would you say is so far the main problem on the side of Slug? Like, they were really losing the first fights, especially like the first around the support camp. Like, what's the problem for the Slug? What do they have to change?
I mean, it's really hard to say, especially for xrayy wins early. It's also 10 is always a good power spike. But also for them is quite a nice one. But I just think this root and the extra CC they will get in will help them a lot. But even though you have to always watch out for the sanctification coming out from Chiro, because if he gets the sanct root onto the Mephisto root, they're basically screwed, because this is the main setup and the main condition to win a fight with the nano boost Mephisto. But if they are not able to get this one, and as we all know, Mephisto, as soon as he tears, his cooldown gets reduced. So even if his nano boost and he throws stuff into nothing, his cooldowns are not getting reduced. But if he's able to hit stuff, he will actually get a lot more damage out because his abilities also get reduced cooldown.
And it looks like actually that Galaxy made his way back here, so teams are ready, and we might be ready to go back into this game.
Oh, we have the countdown started. Here we're back in the game. There we go with the Protector going down, being very low in time, and now we see the front wall of the bottom keep already is opened. And now with this level 10 lead, one level ahead, we see Sanct, Wave of Force, Wailing Arrow, Tranquility, and Entomb. Very
such a stable comp, and they are immediately back at benefiting and trying to snowball here as they use the level 10 advantage that they have. They get the enemy turret as well as the support camp here, which is going to give them a big lead. Smart call here from the Slug to go for the enemy turret themselves during the time that they are still there, but they have to hurry here. They really have to hurry, and they're unable to because Mephisto is not providing with them. We do actually have a two-man entomb here on the Johanna. Mephisto is trying to jump out for once, but he's gonna come back here, and there comes a full salvo of Li Ming, and he's dropping lower and lower. Wave of Frost is really actually... Oh, he's surviving!
He's still running!
He's sitting at 200
He's
HP,
still
and
running!
Really run!
But not
Boom.
too long.
Okay, sorry.
Ming there with Calamity to finish him off, and yeah, I mean the idea of the Slug was a good one. Get this camp because the opponents are on the healing camp right now, but they were kind of too slow on it.
Yeah, and there we see the Sylvanas trade kicking in again, so they get a lot of damage on that fort. There is just the last remaining fort,
down.
and it looks like it might fall here as well.
That's a 2-level lead in favor of xrayy Caesar every day, and there we go with level 10s. Duration of the Endurance of Hate together with Earthquake coming in, plus shield for even more CC, and then a boost for Mephisto to get in more damage in this combo, and of course the bunker as well, rather than the combustion to get in even more safety for his team. Now they're able to take this the fortification camp, as we see on the side of xrayy Caesar every day. They won't want to fight right now, but they have to. As Willie is getting engaged on, it might have to drop the healing pulse. Nope, he's popping the tank first. And Entomb in the backline in the meantime. Nano boost on Mephisto on the side, and so do two Sylvanas. Wailing Arrow. Freaks on the run is probably the person to fall in this fight, but he still has his iron skin. Now walking away, but there's the Leo. But he's not able to do a lot. But no, Mephisto in here, down here, going down. Originally,
Yeah, and we saw during all of that fight, Tyrael didn't even drop the biotic emitter, so all of the time they were feeling comfortable enough. Nobody needed that healing coming in, and it's a level 13 to 11 lead, again a talent lead, and the next protector is gonna spawn on the top in 15 seconds. All the ultimates ran out. We saw Endurance of Hate actually missing completely, so that would have changed the team fight maybe a little bit, but sooner or later they really have to find their way in, unless otherwise it's gonna look rough to really come back into this game.
Control the terminal and bring in the protector.
Now with level 13 we already have as well the ominous Wraith from Leoric coming in, so even if they get a good setup, Leoric is able to negate 50% of Mephisto's damage, even with the nano boost. He is actually there at the bottom lane trying to fight for this turret all alone on himself against two. And now the third one coming in, and he's finally retreating there.
I mean, it was annoying, at least, you have to say, for them. They're looking at support camp to pick up the second healing impulse on the side of xrayy Caesar every day. It looks like they were really winning this one. Looks good so far. I mean, the Endurance of Hate in the last fight was missed, as you said. So if they get a good engage, maybe it will change something, but keep in mind Sanct is back up again, so not sure about that one.
Yeah, and you have to say that Protector is just given here in this case. We have a almost 3-level lead here, and well, it's like we always say about mistakes and the missing value of Mephisto, but it's not always only. Let's say with this fight for a moment, we see Endurance of Hate coming in, and it's actually hitting the Leoric, but he's taking his Wraith Walk in the perfect timing there, and that's why there's nothing to kill on either side here. Earthquake is pulled off. It's still shearing there, but nothing yet providing from it. The Protector is still looking at 60% of his health, and he's having another 40 seconds. They will get at least that keep probably down here. Sylvanas with her trade, negating damage, but there comes a lot of damage on Leorg. He has to be careful, and now he's retreating for the moment. Apparently they won't get the keep here. We see Malfurion still in the Protector, and he's actually jumping back in there, and now he has to be careful as he's really out of position. Tranquility is pulled out of the way, and there's the Sanctification to save him as well. Bunker is there to save the enemy team, and Silence is on the Thrall and the Mephisto here. And Mephisto with Endurance of Raiden is actually hitting a lot of members this time, and this could actually finally work. We have the Lion Skin on this Johanna, but still it's Mephisto who falls first, as everyone on the side of xrayy wins this every day is surviving as well. Well, the only member, yes, Blaze is still alive. No, he falls to the Sylvanas Damage, who is jumping afterwards. Tyrael is jumping back, barely making it out alive there, and they get the keep and 2 members out of the Slug. What an amazing performance. And I was just about to say that it's not only like maybe some drafting mistakes and some misplays from time to time on the side of the Slug, but it's an amazing performance from the side of xrayy wins this every day, who are really benefiting from the slight mistakes the team of the Slug does here.
Yeah, xrayy wins this every day, just really able to capitalize on staying alive of the Sanct and other things. Like Bunker was dropped, Janna and Blaze immediately went into it, and meanwhile Mafur, who got engaged, is already in the Sanct of Tyrael, just chilling around, being out of any danger. We also see now a 3-level lead, so we see 17 against 14. This means we have xrayy wins this every day, already again 1 talent ahead. On the side of the Slug, you could fight force a fight same talent here. When you hit level 6 in your opponents will hit level 19 if you don't lose too much, but still this is kind of a long way, and I'm not sure if it really makes the most sense, because even if they win this team fight and if they get a few kills out of it, they will not be able to get this experience in to be on the same level, because then after some point xrayy wins these every day will be able to pick up level 20 themselves, and then they will have that talent advantage again. Then you don't want to fight.
And we do have another biotic emitter coming in for Tyrael here. So 2 turrets and a biotic emitter on the side of Galaxy versus absolutely nothing on the side of the Slug. And that is going to provide so much. Not only the talent lead that they still have, and it looks like we do have that clutch advantage for the side of xrayy wins every day. There's only going to be a slight window where we can look for a fight on even talents, and it's gonna be soon, because level 20 is not too far away for the xrayy wins every day. Leorg is split-stalking as much as he can, and they actually try to get a pick against him, but meanwhile on the bot lane they have to be careful to not lose too much buildings there. And there's a nice route on the Thrall, but he's able to escape for the moment. Very hard to tell here. There's now the situation that we do have even talents, and immediately we see a high aggression coming in from the Slug. They know that they have to fight now here.
Janna trying to walk forward, but you know Janna is not the best one in engaging into stuff. So this is not the easiest fight they can get, because we already see xrayy wins every day closing in towards 20, already 19.5. And especially now in the mid lane.
Reaction, they know that they don't have to force a big team fight, so we see Sylvanas and Leoric pushing in the mid lane, and we know that these 2 guys provide with a lot of push, so the reaction from the team must come in. But meanwhile on the bot lane there's an isolation of Anna from the rest of the team, and she's dropping lower and lower, but she can escape for the moment, and it's Malfurion who falls first here. Anna is still pressured all the way at the bottom from Tyrael, but the Sleep Blood is saving her there. 2 turrets are placed there. We have Mephisto in a lot of trouble, and he actually falls, as well as the Anna finally, so we do have a 2-for-1 trade. I guess that was the one shot they had here.
It's exactly the thing. Now they have level 20, now they're coming in, killing this Thrall as well. Like, they do not have such a big of a window, and if they just wait for it to be here, the window.
By the way,
a protector
one
going
thing
over.
they do have is a protector.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's gonna help them much.
I mean, Johanna on the driver's
Slug
seat
does have the protector.
Crusading Mobile is on its way towards the core to defend it. It's very unusual.
I think I've never seen something like that.
I mean, it's very unusual to see the Protector going to the core and just defending waves. But I guess it's a possibility here, especially as it is now on its way to defend the bottom keep.
Red team's core is under attack.
Hoping with 2 catapults coming in for a sort of extra wins these every day. And
I mean, this would have been game without any doubt. It still is very improbable for the Slug to come back here from this. But that slight mistake, just imagine if this would actually cost them the game in the end.
And now getting out of it, letting the Crusading Mobile stand here in the base until the time expires, so they have more time to soak level 20 themselves, rather than like running into something like a destroy and then the next Protector is coming up slightly before they have level 20 themselves.
Again, we see an abandoned Protector just standing there a little bit sad. So this is a 20 against 18 situation, and it does look like xrayy is really forcing the fight, even amongst the enemy core. They do feel comfortable enough. There's the engage coming in from this Johanna as much as she can. They try just to delay, get rid of the catapults, and they seem to succeed that. We have a stun against Leoric. Leoric is there with his rock, but the endurance of fate is actually missing again, and the sanctification is there with the perfect timing to save the Leoric. He's healing himself up with his soul drain, and there we have the bunker put to place once they need it, and we see Mephisto not able to get in, and he's the one who falls first here for the side of the Slug, and on the other side nobody's actually close to death except for Galaxy. He has to be a little bit careful. We see the walk from Leoric to negate a lot of the damage coming in, more damage coming in from Li Ming, who is actually hidden with her cloves, and they are starting to poke down that core, although they get the bottom keep first.
Bottom keep going down, Mephisto back in 20, and now they're looking for the core. Possibly some more kills, as we have the Silence and Tomb is back up right now. Bunker still on 20 seconds cooldown, but shield back up, but Jenna is going down. That's the Silence and Tomb against 2 members. And this will probably be the death of those 2 as... oh no, Brawl staying alive for now, but play is going down. With the reset, Ming able to get now 1. And very close to getting the Brawl as well. And this is... xrayy wins these every day able to close out this game number 4 in this best of 5 series, and they are our Mythic Championship winner. Congratulations towards them, also congratulations towards the Slug as they made it into the finals. Put up
What
a really good fight.
Anticlimactic ending to this.
When Freaks was a small boy, he was living in a small village in Ethiopia, but got caught in a zebra stampede. After he got bit by zebras several times, he was never the same. After that day, he vowed to move as far away as possible from zebras. Now he calls himself Freak Z to remember himself to never go outside ever again. Okay, well, that sounds a bit sad, but I don't think it's true, to be fair. But anyways.
That is actually a meme going through the chat. I saw it already earlier today. It took me like half a minute to read it through. Interesting story. But okay, let's stick with the analysis. We have Li Ming providing with 80k damage there, but I guess it's just the snowballing who hit through here really hard. We had such a big advantage early in the game. Like I said, during the break that we had, 2 forts fallen for the first Protector. That is harsh. That is really hard to come back from. Really felt sorry there for the Slug, who had a rough time afterwards in the game. And just as they had this momentum, you know, you come into this game having won the first game against xrayy wins every day after you lost twice, very close, one in the winner's bracket semifinal and the other one in the first match of the grand final. And then you lose another game pretty dominant, and afterwards you get your first victory. You come back to a 2-1 situation, and you start your 4th match in this grand final and think like, oh, maybe this could be our comeback. Let's go here. We are finally back in this finale. And then you get distracted by the early 5 minutes. That must have hurt hard. And I guess even psychological, there was no chance of coming back after.
Yeah, this was really hard for the side of the Slug, but maybe a bit more interesting how it was on the side of xrayy and Caesar every day, as we are going to join them in the interview room, like right now. Hello!
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
that's
think
the
anyone
shortcut.
knows this, but no one uses the shortcut. We only say xrayy wins these, so I don't think anyone put any thought into that. But,
I mean, xrayy wins them, just wins them. So
he essentially does.
he did. Well, congratulations first of all from me, but we are not only here with xrayy wins these every day or the shortcut XD, it is also one of our famous person in here. It is Dr. Patman.
Good evening, everybody, and I'm glad to be
evening.
back because, my goodness, we had quite a fight today. And XD, as I'm referring to them now, xrayy, of course, making them win every day, have done an unbelievable job and have won Heroes Lounge. That must be an incredible achievement. Well done, guys. I know it takes a lot of effort in order to get to this stage, and frankly, I don't know how you guys do it, but I am so thrilled that you were able to come here. And as a result of winning our Heroes Lounge tournament, you receive not only the pleasure of talking to me,
I was actually anticipating something.
I know, you saw it coming, but you also win your very own highest quality plastic that Heroes Lounge can afford. That is right. If you just send myself or Pitor or Karis, pretty much anyone you would like, your information, we can send you off, each one of you, a trophy for you to enjoy forever.
That's the main reason I was here. I wanted to get my second trophy. Is it the same design as the last time, or is it a different one?
No, when did you win it last? It depends.
The last season. The last season.
It might be the same as last season. I'll
okay.
have to double check.
Well, that's
but
fine.
I mean, come on, it's not so bad, right? It's
No,
okay.
it's actually really good. I got really positively surprised when I got it. It's really cool.
No,
Can I
so,
win a trophy?
everyone wins a trophy. So congratulations to you guys, but I also want to give a huge shout out to the Slug. Not so sluggish, I would say, managing to pull it through to the final and giving everyone here a
big
great
shout-outs.
show. So I mean, like, I know it's so demoralizing to be able to get this far and come so close and not really make it in the end, but I mean, it's a huge achievement to even get this far, and I don't think we should go without giving them a huge shout out there. As well as that, I want to give a massive thanks to everybody. I mean, I'm sure some of you playing have also seen over the last couple days, but there's a large team behind the scenes which make this a possibility. So, I mean, a huge shout out to everybody who made this possible. So, of course, you know, you've got Pitter and Karis, and of course, we've got our casters here as well, Samuel. And then we've also got, you know, Tiny and Typhoon and Fishy and Transparent, of course, Fallop, John Brannon, of course, Penelope, huge number of people, Typhoon, if I didn't already mention him. I mean, it's simply incredible how many people make this possible, and without them, we wouldn't be able to have such amazing tournaments as we've seen today. So, I'm sorry for getting a bit of a downer there, but I mean, honestly, thanks so much for taking part. I hope you had a great time playing in our league.
We appreciate it
hope
very
to
much.
see you guys in upcoming tournaments as well. I think it's simply amazing to see what you guys have been able to do. And I think that's more or less it for now. If you for those watching, sign up if you haven't already. I'm sure the players here will attest to it. It's one of the greatest ways to play Heroes of the Storm, and if you haven't experienced it already, please do sign up, because I know I'm a little bit biased in that respect, but I really do. I love this place, and I really hope you guys sign up, and then we see a little bit more of you in the upcoming season.
What is this place?
Yeah.
Where am I?
No, I just joined like 5 seconds ago, so I don't know. I just want to play a game, but you guys are having a speech, so.
Yes, we're actually having the winners interview. I'm sorry for that, buddy.
It's okay. Yep, that's all for me for now. Thanks a lot, guys. And feel free to send me a message. Let me know where you want those trophies sent. We'll send you
Thank
a
you.
picture as well if you want.
Sounds awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.
See you.
See you. As this was our Master of Launch. We have the scene, and you will get the finest pieces of plastics. And to get those, you have to do the finest place in the Mythic Championship, and you did so. And you
Feels
did
like
so.
you did.
I mean, you played off your first series kinda clean against them, as you also faced them in the winners bracket final.
Well, it was clean since we got a 2-0, but I wouldn't say that the games
Yes.
were in our favor. They were like really even games, and we kind of clutched it out at the end on both of them. So it was like a pretty tough series.
That's true, it was tough, but in the end you kinda made a big... won the last team fight, that's always the thing.
Yeah.
We saw it in
Yeah.
this game as well, those 4 games, except for one, Sky Temple. What was the plan idea behind the trades against the Zeratul, right?
We were told it's a skill matchup, and whoever was playing Tracer said he was very confident that he would pull it off. I think he did a good job. I don't think he was the reason we lost that much. We could all play it a bit better. I should have been peeling the Zeratul a bit more in that game, but I'm happy with our performance in it.
It was Galaxy's bad.
We were
Right.
all that bit. We were all that bit. We got smashed.
I blame my
by-
2 supports.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them. Their fault.
Valve ends?
No. Yeah.
I mean, I think they got a lot of value out of the stage dive there. Just diving as soon as Uther wasn't with the team, basically.
And we felt really confident playing against Zeratul from the last game also. Like we knew how we should do the fights and how we should deal with him. So
Zeratul wasn't the issue. Like I think just really like the stage dive at the right moment. When we used the Jaina burst, we didn't have enough to kill ETC with the root of mouth. So after that, he just got too much value.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Sounds fair. Any questions from you, heroes? Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, congratulations from my side as well for winning the Mythic Championship. I've actually seen a lot of games of you guys during the regular season, and yeah, what was interesting to me to see is like I guess against the Slug we had like 4+2. We had 6 games in total. You won 5 of them, but I think you had kind of a negative kill count in at least 3 games of them, maybe 4. So you were able to really get those clutch team fights. Did you ever feel like you might pay for all those kills that you had at one point, or did you always feel comfortable? Was it like kind of in your calculation of the match series that we've seen?
I mean, like when the game goes, you kind of don't pay attention to like how many times the enemies kill you. Like you just move forward, try to do your best, and like I remember we had games where the opponents had 40 kills and we had 17, and we still won the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like I think it's just about like the important moments. Like you can die a lot, but in the end, like if you macro well and if you like get a clutch team fight, then it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Yeah, the mistakes we made in the past are not going to affect like our decision making coming forward. You just focus on what we should do in order to win the game. And personally, I don't even look or like pay attention to the kill count at all during a competitive match. I just focus on what the team is supposed to do next and try to make a decision based on that.
I think it was mainly the game on Battlefield actually were like they were killing us, but we were winning the objective. So I think as long as we stayed just about even in XP, we didn't really mind the kills as long as we got the objective, I think.
Yeah, that happened actually twice there, I remember as well. And obviously it gives you the time, or like it negates the benefit you get, because usually the most you benefit from the kills is not the kill itself, but it's the time that you can actually freely push, more or less, and you cannot if you're facing the objective. So that's probably right here. So one interesting game, because it was for me like maybe it was something of a psychological thing, but if we faced into that last game, like you, if I get myself into the mindset that the Slug must have had, like they lost 2 really close games against you, one in the winners bracket and one in the grand final on Battlefield of Eternity, where your core dropped down to 7%, and then you got a more more obvious victory in the second game, and you must be morally down a little bit, and then you get the 1 victory on Sky Temple against you. So you're going into this 4th match with, I would say, a positive mindset, because you get some energy from that 1 win after you got beaten down unlucky twice. But then all of a sudden, I think, in my opinion, in like 5 minutes on Vodskaya, you immediately took that away. What did you think? What was your thought on, or what were your thoughts on Vodskaya Foundry? What did go wrong on the side of the Slug there, and what did you do exceptionally well there?
I think the draft.
The draft was really bad.
But also, like, I mean, I think every one of us, bar like maybe me, was on a hero they're almost the best on. Like, you look at Galaxy on Sylvanas with Ontario, xrayy on Mal, Furion, and Kelvin on Li Ming. That's probably all like in their top 3 or one of their very best heroes. Yeah, I'm the only one who wasn't playing one of my main heroes, and the Orc isn't like too hard to get value out of. You just clear lanes basically. So I think that giving us all our favorite heroes was probably not the best idea.
And with our comp, we didn't even really expect to win the early team fights, since the other comps are kind of weak near the game, and their comp looked all right. So once we won the first objective so decisively, we were in a really good spot.
And then we definitely snowballed it afterwards, for sure.
Yeah.
I think we took the game also like pretty
seriously.
We wanted to finish it up. Because like the game before on Sky Temple, we were kind of like, oh, do we go core now? Like we already felt the victory, and then we started into.
We had a lot of fun in comps during this finals. Holy shit! But last game was like full tryhard. It was noticeably way different.
Yeah,
Wanted to finish it off.
Yeah, and well, you did show some dominant performance there as well. So just to make clear that this was obviously pretty much best that you could give. Last question for me would be, because I would be really interesting, like maybe you can take us through your voice and something, all that stuff that happened in your head on that first game of Battlefield of Eternity, because usually you would say like Battlefield of Eternity was the map that you could choose before any map picks, and you have the first pick as well. So this would be like the one map you really would not want to lose at all. And then what was going through your minds when your core was dropping lower and lower and lower? Like, did you feel like, oh, this is over, or did you have a chance, and how were you communicating there?
I think when we got killed, we were just like, okay, focus, what is the best next step, and then we just did that.
We just called out which hero needed to die at exactly that moment. Once Sylvanas was low, it was like, okay, now Furion, okay, now Sylvanas, okay, now Zeratul, okay, now Chen, and we just leave it DC for last. And I mean, luckily we managed to just barely pull it off.
Situations like that, you're basically not thinking about whether or not it's going to work, since thinking about that is not going to help your chances of making it. So it's just a waste of time. You just focus on whoever's going to be the best target, and if someone finds a different target, they try and yell louder than the last person, and we switch targets. And you focus on killing whoever has the highest damage compared to their HP. So if someone's low HP and do a lot of damage, you focus on first. And you basically just yell targets and try and figure it out.
If you guys are also curious about the comps, I think we had the POV stream on Wit's Twitch channel.
Shout out to my Twitch channel.
Right.
Oh man, I might go and hear that. I might rehear that. I would be interesting.
Any more shoutouts from you guys, besides of the Twitch channel, of course?
Shout out to our subs.
Our subs, yeah.
Holy shit.
All of them.
Comrade Skynox, Comrade Death Knight,
Oh,
Jalab.
Jalab, of course, and like also
Max Passion.
Joy and
Oh,
Max
yeah, Max
Passion were actually in the main team.
You
They didn't
okay?
playing here. Who else was there?
You guys had a big
Ultralisk,
roster.
Ultralisk subbed once, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah.
I
Shout
played
out
like
to all of
2
them.
series for you guys in total, I think.
Yeah.
But I came for the one that I wanted.
Yeah.
And
I guess follow me on twitch.tv/helloonwit. Galaxy is also streaming. Follow him on twitch.tv/DNA Galaxy. xrayy is also streaming. Your twitch.tv, is it hots_xrayy? Is that it?
Yes.
Is it 2 underscores or 1?
1.
1. Okay, go follow him too.
Shameless.
Chalvin and Alba, I don't think you're streaming, right?
Oh, fuck it.
No.
Is anyone going to be streaming after this? I'm going to play with some people, so I won't be streaming. But if anyone's streaming, then let the people know, and you can maybe get hosted or some shit.
Okay, and thank you for everyone in Heroes Launch to make this season possible. Because,
Absolutely.
like, as Dr. Patman said before, like, I think Heroes Launch is the best way to play HOTS. It's the most enjoyable one. So, guys, if you're watching, just go ahead, no matter what league you are, and play it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, xrayy, turn on your stream. People are going to be wanting more.
I want to eat it. I'm tired and I want to eat. I'm gonna stream tomorrow, guys. So leave a follow if you want.
tomorrow, watch xrayy stream. Thanks everybody for the interview room, for the interview. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. You're gonna party hard as the winners, I hope.
Of course.
Of course.
And hope to see you soon in the next season, or maybe even Division S qualifiers. We will see.
We're definitely playing Division S, I think, almost all of us.
Yes.
Nice.
And you're gonna see us in Division 1 as well. I mean, me at least.
You'll see me in the next finals.
Let's go in.
This was my third victory. I want my 4th one. I'm probably like in the top of how many wins you got in Division 1.
The Support Supreme is gonna take it. I'm calling it now.
Yeah. Thanks for the interview and see you soon. Bye.
Yo.
Thank you. Bye.
So that's it with the interview. Thanks to xrayy once more. Some last words from you, heroes.
Oh, well, thanks to all of you guys and everyone behind the scene, Typhoon, who was actually here, the manager of the final, Penelope in the semifinal. Thanks to everyone else who is setting this up. You're making this a big effort, and you're doing this all basically for us players here, if I may talk as a player here now. And yeah, thanks for having me here. And I loved casting this series. I guess we had some really interesting games. A little bit of an anticlimactic finish, but nonetheless, that is taking nothing away from that. And yeah, only can congratulate again to xrayy wins this every day. I guess we saw a deserved victory of the Mythic Championship here.
Yeah, definitely. Also, big thanks to everyone behind the scenes, as he mentioned, Typhoon, but also Peter and everyone else, all of the mods and all of the other casters. Big shout out to Baby Houdini and Eric, who casted the first time on this channel. And also keep in mind, sign-ups open until 17th, so 1 more week to sign up. Also Division S is coming up soon, so there are also the sign-ups open. So I hope you're all gonna join us there, and this is it with the end of Season 10 on the Heroes Launch, in Europe. I mean, we have at some point maybe an A Season 10, but that may take some time. So thank you everybody for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye!
Bye-bye, guys.